literally,
That was so
two
funny.
informants who went outside and murked both and come back, how did it go?
We were just at the
I was devoted to good and I wanted to help people all the time.
Chaos keyboard devotion, talented man. I'm all about protecting my own self-interests.
I think it would be quite fun to play a
fallen paladin
at some point or another. But
I played one. It's pretty fun.
So what are the bonuses? So what kind of bonuses do you get as a fallen paladin? Are
you can raise dead and.
Oh, the anti-paladin or the paladin of wherever I am.
Is it the
Oathbreaker Paladin?
Oathbreaker paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can command dead and stuff. It's pretty baller.
All the damage is necrotic instead of radiant.
It isn't.
It's not, it's all radiant.
It's still radiant.
Oh god, that's delicious. That isn't it?
I've got something.
Some of the spells
It just
say
makes such a difference.
Oh, some of the
Like,
spells.
all
Still the
sweet,
smites are
so-
radiant.
So nice. Yeah. Nice.
Radiant doesn't mean good.
It's I got 3
It's just-
sort of
it's
a ball
holy.
between
A lot of
just two
spells
of us, so
then
we got 2
give
balls
you a
between
choice,
4.
though,
Ratio is
depending
fine.
on
Yeah,
the
some of the
profile.
spells do give you a choice, but the smites don't and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is work for me because we're
Then some
fighting
more
on
credits.
dead.
I've got so many like so much pizza dust all over the bloody character sheet.
I would have been okay with necrotic, but it just didn't make sense.
I did your
Instead-
reading.
Yeah, but I was
When
like,
you said
then,
Avalon Blanto.
in theory.
Dead. I've
Is the stutter annoying on the flip side? Is the stutter annoying or is the stutter...
Yeah, it means I didn't do
I
anything.
know,
I just
is it
sat there
okay?
all taking
Yeah,
one
yeah.
like,
I think you can't
That's why I
balance
didn't give them the level.
It's a stutter.
Get the
And
XP.
really.
It's a
I
stutter.
can't-
It's a stutter, and he
Well,
kind
you
of
meant to give them a
wobbles
level,
around.
and
It's
they
more
beat
kind of like he
you.
just works.
That's
kind of
with-
mild.
My dad has
Sort
like
of thing,
a
yeah.
starter
So
where
it's
like sometimes you just can't.
It's not very milestone.
It didn't feel milestone. They just kind of.
Not like that.
It's a very
Yeah,
light
that
stutter. It's more of the
milestone.
fact that he can't say
They
things
just lucked out.
It's not like he's
concisely.
extracted.
His word economy is very poor.
Attrition did.
Before we start, have you got an extra clue? Because I think I might have lost one, but knowing me, I probably lost it. I've only got the 5.
I gave you 5, my friend.
I know you gave me 5, I've subsequently lost it. Knowing me.
You silly goose.
Oh, well, it can't be in the important bit.
They're not clues, they're just riddles, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's things that tell you things about the world, potential quest hooks if you're looking for something to do, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'll find it,
do
it
you-
will turn up.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Are we ready to continue, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, so you've just walked out of the Frog and Hammer, a somewhat run-down, but not necessarily poor, tap room of Tamsworth, one of the 2 taverns of this place, and you're walking across sort of the main road. Tamsworth itself is built on the long road, as I've said, the road that leads from Glannam all the way up to the Dwarven settlement of Ironmaster in the north. And most of the town is built around the road itself. It has a few offshoots of roads, but the majority of it is built along this main road. And it's only literally walking across the road and down a couple of doors to get to the Traveller's Notch. And depending on how long you've been here, you may have been here a few days, you may have just arrived today. You may or may not have been in the Traveller's Notch before. Walking inside, it's distinctly different than the Frog and Hammer. The Frog and Hammer is a pub. It's not cleaned regularly. It's just there to serve beer and food, and the good food is good thanks to Gruff. However, the tap room itself is the Traveller's Notch rather is an experience or something along those lines. It's warm. It's bright in there. The wooden floors, wooden tables all look varnished. So the floor also has been beaten down by many travellers' feet along the years. It has barrels stuck in the back behind the bar of multiple different beers. The beer, unfortunately, in the Frog and Hammer is only this. It's this sort of watery ale from Ornery, a brewery, a town which has a brewery in it, only some 100 miles away. The Traveller's Notch seems to have beer and spirits and stuff from all over the place. And behind the bar itself, this bright, well-lit, warm tap room and tavern is a dwarf, and he's a fat dwarf. I mean, you've seen dwarfs before. This guy is portly. He clearly enjoys his food, maybe a little bit too much. But he has this huge beard which sort of sprays out like that, but it's got multiple plaits running in it, and the plaits themselves seem to stick out like they've been waxed or something like that. As he sees you, he goes, "Aha! More folk to stay. Come in. What can I get you?"
This is the kind of reception I'd like. Good sir, five of your finest ales.
Ales? Well, we do have a lot of things. Looking for ales, spirits, maybe even a cider. Doesn't come north very often, but I've got some.
Well, before you go, would I know his name?
Yes, you do. You haven't seen this guy before. His name's Thorgrim Greypick.
Thorgrim.
Yes, Thorgrim.
It's a fucking mouthful.
Great pick.
Great pick.
Yes. He goes, well, if you're just looking for ales, you could try a Southern Blood, a ruby ale procured from Verbabonk. Perhaps you want the Clouded Dog, though. It's a little bit pricier, but it's the only cider we have, or frankly, any inn has this far north. All the way from Salondia, across the inner sea. Or perhaps you're looking for a mead. Of course, not the wine mead, it's just the ale mead. But it's made from a monastery of monks in the Lork Mountains. No? No, maybe you're to spirit then. I see you. I think you are. I think you want a spirit. Well, I don't normally give this to many people. Perhaps you'd like a dwarven spirit, a fire brandy. That'll warm you up.
Wonderful.
It's got a name though, and it's quite a potent name. It's because of what it induces. It's actually made by a cousin of mine. It's called Liquid Fight.
Liquid shitting.
Liquid Fight all round, perhaps, or perhaps you would want an ale or something else.
What would you like?
One liquid fight.
Or perhaps you want some. I mean, we do have cheaper spirits, but some of them are pretty poor. Some of them just show up in our cellar, and we just have to serve them.
I kind of like perk up and say something non-alcoholic for our avian friend here.
Oh, God, more than alive! I didn't catch you there behind all these big fellas. What's your pet?
It's not a pet. His name's Beak.
Beak.
Is there any-
Rather fitting, a bit on the beak.
See, that joke was a good one. I maintain that was a good joke.
You made the joke as well. I mean, it's quite
Bit
a...
on the nose, bit on the beak.
I thought so as well.
You're a man of good humour and good drinks, I see.
I am. We have many more. He sort of stickles behind the barrel. He goes, I probably lose money, but I love getting drinks from the travellers who travel the long road.
You're a man with passion.
I love
can
my
respect
drink.
that.
He sort of pulls out three small glasses and takes out a bottle. Goes, Liquid Fight all round, I think. Yes. Yes. Slides them across the table.
I'll have one of the ciders and a... Do you have any whiskey?
Takes one back. Oh. Whiskey.
No, I grab it.
He only put 3 glasses out, didn't he?
He put 5.
Oh, shit.
Oh, non-alcoholic.
Just repeat
What do
myself.
birds drink? We have a bird bath in the back for the pigeons.
What would you like, Beak?
What would people have that is like non-alcoholic?
Water. They might have some milk if they have cows nearby.
Blood.
You would like blood, I imagine.
That's it. They might have some juices,
Blood.
Oh, juices.
but they'll be very rare and quite expensive because people just tend to ferment their shit.
Just a milk would be
Milk. I think we have some. Yes, it's normally reserved for the food. Sort of milking it up and creaming and stuff. But we can get you some of that as well. That's not an issue. Whiskey. We have some whiskey. Yes. It's a fine brand. I got it from Glamfloor not too long ago. Well, a traveller brought it north. Perhaps that'll do for you. And you, yes. The Clouded Dog as well.
That'd be worth... Those two for me.
He sort of pulls and puts it then.
I would like the Liquid Fight. Do you have a gin, maybe?
Gin. Unfortunately not. No, I've heard of it. It's a southern drink, unfortunately. Found in Casavilla, or sorry, here, the nuns come this far north. Not in a long time.
In that case, I'll have a Clouded Dog as well as the Liquid.
Of course.
Thank you.
Puts 2 Cloud Dogs down, there's some Liquid Fight.
2 liquid fights for me.
Just slides one over to you. If you want anything else, please. Unfortunately, these drinks are somewhat expensive. Of course.
What? That's not a problem. Obviously, we're seasoned travellers. We have the coin. But, just out of interest, what is the price of this round?
That's a noble discount.
I don't know if you've had any McCorkton stew.
I feel we should do the firebrand whiskies separately, I feel. And those who are having them should pay for them.
Oh, here we go.
Spend all of our money.
I'll tell you what. I like you lot. How about we just say 1 gold piece for the lot, and then we'll call it even next time. This is how I lose money, you see. But I just like so many people.
I tossed him 2 gold pieces.
Oh, well, that was more.
Fine fellow. I couldn't run you out of a deal like that.
Of course, thank you. That's very kind of you. Please enjoy your drinks. If you want rooms, just come back to me and I'll sort you out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's very strong.
Bleeding gold.
It is potent, to say the very least. You sort of drink it, you're like, this is easy. You can throw it back, you're like,
How was
one
it,
thing,
Valor?
Thorgrim, I
Sir,
Delightful.
outside.
You're just laying hands on yourself on the
and
table.
he sort of
like,
shuffles
"Oh,
over
it's
past the
fine."
bar and looks out the window and sees the Rough Riders sort of tending their wounds
it's
and
fine.
rubbing,
You
and
can wave it
the
back.
balding
I'm
man
just
is clearly
topless.
angry.
Come at me.
He's kicking the mud and sort of fucking shouting,
still got his gold
pointing his
on.
finger quite accusatorily at the halfling. Something they're clearly arguing out there. He looks back and goes, those guys, Rough Riders, I don't really allow them in here. They tend to come in here to sleep and then go to the other place for their shit booze but cheaper drinks.
So they're staying in the inn at the moment then.
I believe so, yes.
We got off on the wrong foot. You know what I mean? How it is. It's,
He tried to punch you.
Yes.
Don't worry, there's none of that in here. He leans down and pulls out a large and hefty looking crossbow of Dwarf and Make. He goes, I keep things safe.
That's good to know. One other thing, I don't suppose you've got something for the face. It's a bit.
He
Strong.
seems to notice for the first time, especially the sort of the huge flower on the side of his cheek. Goes, ooh. A good sleep will see you right, but let's get that swelling down, shall we? Tell you what, I'll just make you forget the pain. He just pours a firebrand in liquid fire and slides it over to you. That's on the house. Looks like you won though. So
To victory. And knock it back.
you like you have to sort of sit there and center yourself for a brief moment. You're like, just so it doesn't come back up again.
Thank you, Thorgrim. And I collect my drink and I take it to.
Okay, you sit down, you have your drinks. It's getting quite late in the evening at this point in time, and for some reason you seem to have found yourselves, all five of you, sitting around the same table. Perhaps fate has led you here. Or just perhaps the fact that you got in a fight and you're on the same side.
That dwarf is definitely making a massive loss every time he serves anybody.
I'm concerned for his business's future.
We should buy him out.
Would be
He'd probably charge like 2 gold or something for the whole thing.
Maybe we
I've
could.
always wanted my own tavern.
Throw down 7 silver. He's like, sold! Rough leaves the party.
I just say, I feel this is a mistake, my friends. Drink my milk.
The Birdman possibly has a point. We don't really have the. I don't mean to comment on you fellows, but my coin purse is not hefty.
My coin purse is not hefty.
Not sure if that's a drink or it's just, making your speech even worse.
Yeah, what are you
He's
trying to
Skrillex
say?
now.
I'll go sort out the rooms, and I'll go and sort out the rooms.
Okay, that's fine. It's 5 gold pieces for a night here, or you can stay in the in the boardroom. The
No, I
common room.
promised rooms in. I promised in this place. I'm gonna.
While
The
he's doing
common
that,
room's 1 silver piece per person, but that's fine.
No, we have rooms.
while he's doing that, I want to go up to Garth and get his attention, and then
That's not hard to do.
and then I'm gonna make the sound of like a flock of birds flying, and
Okay.
point at myself to indicate that because I know you're a wizard, I want you to make me fly.
I will be able to do so fairly soon. Unfortunately, not right now. But give us time, and we'll have you in the sky before you know it.
Beak looks a bit sad.
Could you fly once?
What do you mean?
Have you been able to fly before? Did you have wings once? You never had wings.
And then I just drink my milk.
We'll get you in the sky before you know it.
And then when Alvin returns, I do the same thing.
I look a bit put out. I'm like, oh.
I'm terribly sorry, Beak. It's a bit out of reach at the moment. Maybe with a bit of time we can take to the air. Soaring bird.
I just make the sound of a woman crying. Because I'm very sad. And then I just drink my milk and read my book.
I sit down next to Garland.
You hear a woman crying, you're like, hello.
I think Birdman's sad.
It's bird person.
Person, damn it.
BP for short.
PP.
Well, the rooms are sorted, gentlemen. I wonder if you might be interested in undertaking a few of the jobs on the Disborder together. I felt like our synchronicity was pretty good.
Well, it was forced together a little bit. As someone's tray work.
Fine tray work, I must add.
Better cooking.
His tray work was pretty good.
It's a critical tray.
Anything that I can do to help people, I'm happy to do. And if we can do it better as a group, then I'm all for that.
I say,
Helping the poor and
absolutely, sir.
helpless.
My services are actually better.
Downtrodden.
So that's
All those poor little peasants. Those are the people that I'm
Those filthy poor peasants.
I need to save them and lift them out of poverty.
I just feel so terrible for all of them. I just have to do what I can.
No, I agree to come along. I've been in this town for the last, let's say, 6 months, and
6 months.
yeah.
Oh man!
So,
Fucking hell!
I've been stuck in that kitchen, and so I want to work my way back up again.
But do they have a cook to replace you?
Well, I'll have to go and speak to my
Right,
my
manager.
employers.
I'd like to hand in my notice.
Yes.
Garth, how about
I would be well up for this. This seems like sounds like quite interesting.
Oh, then to the start of our adventures, chaps.
Oh, raise the drinks.
Plus, you need some people to sleep.
That is
Not again.
Not you, hopefully this time.
I quite enjoyed my sleep. I was in quite a bit of pain up until that point.
Have you ever tried casting it on yourself? You get a real dreamless sleep. It's quite wonderful. It only lasts a minute, unfortunately. It's wonderful that minute.
Sadly, I can just conjure barrels.
Maybe you should focus on the sleep.
No,
But that's fine.
Maybe, yes.
Okay.
Retire to our rooms.
You retire to your rooms, to your individual rooms. They're quite comfortable. They're modest, but they're comfortable nonetheless. The beds themselves are of not down or mattress, but they're straw, but they're comfortable and not too and quite soft. And the blankets themselves are woolen and warm. It is Lent, which is the 9th month of the year, also known as the fading. It's getting pretty late in the year, and it is starting to get quite cold. This the north of Glannam is known for its quite severe winters. We're not truly deep into the north of Glannam, but you can expect to see snows relatively soon. And although the snows will melt and come back, once they get deep into winter, the snows won't really melt until the following spring, the next year. You wake, the morning comes, you're not attacked during the night or anything like that. The Rough Riders don't try and cut your throats in your sleep. And you wake, it is let's call it the 18th of Lent, the 18th of the 9th moon of the year 590. 3 years after the end of the bloody civil war which tore Castle Valyria in two. It's now together, but it won the independence of Glannam.
Yeah.
And now you stand collected. Your inclusive breakfast of frankly, compared to your meals, Gruff, it's paltry. It's porridge. It's tasteless, but there is salt you can season with. Quite rare commodity up here. Probably another sort of hole in the barrel, which is rapidly leaking funds for poor Thorgarm. But you sort of settle round the table to whatever ventures call you next. You know, there are things on the boards. You've all heard things in your travels, and Gruff, you've been here long enough. You know that there is a smaller, more focused on hunting notice board up in the Tamsworth hunting lodge, which you can go for. It's mostly sort of notes of tracks or trails that one could follow for potential game, as well as particular large beasties that hunters have not been successful in tracking and pinning down. It's almost like a friendly sort of competition, which seems to go on in Tamsworth Lodge. You frequented there a few times,
Yes.
being a man of the wilds yourself, but you tend to enjoy the kitchen more than you enjoy the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
But here you go. Here you sit. The entirety of Glannam and the savage frontier ahead and awaiting for you.
Before I go down in the morning in my room, I'll cast my Find Familiar spell.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll sit it out the window.
Yeah.
So you can come down.
Before I go to
You
bed.
you guys have way of healing works and vivid editions. You heal your hit points overnight, and even then you were only non-lethally wounded, bludgeoned and bruises and stuff like that. So you're back up to fighting form.
Before I go to bed, I'm gonna carve a little figurine of myself.
Okay. One you've undoubtedly carved hundreds and hundreds of times. Always the same, and not your original making.
And then when we meet, I'm gonna give Alvin a little.
He hands you a carving. He looks like he.
Wait, Karen.
Thank you, Beak. It's
A school shooter in bird form.
it's.
Going to be in the school this day.
It's
You guys are all right. Don't come to the Traveller's Notch tomorrow.
I will keep it with me, and I put it in my sort of
Okay.
waistcoat pocket.
It's pretty well made.
I have a little beak sticking out of my pocket there.
Yeah, it's basically like a bust, but it's like big.
Oh, it's quite big then. Oh, I might put it in my bag then. I might put it in the bag then if it's that big. Because
Trust get in his pocket.
just like I just ripped my waistcoat.
Cast it in.
It's expanding. Before I come down as well, I update my playbook as much as I can with the conversations of the previous
cool.
day. Cool.
Already done quite a lot.
I'm keeping track.
Have you seen anything in that book?
Pardon?
The paper looks so brown.
It's my own cipher.
I cannot read it myself.
Only for smell.
It smells like the tenants of Torm.
All of them.
Even Tom knows the
There's
whole
nothing that
beat.
says anything about throwing a sack of rats in a river.
Okay.
And on that note, should we go find a sack of rats?
Well, that would be the easiest job to.
Certainly would, but it'd also be one of the lowest paying.
Maybe do that on the way back.
I mean, it's nothing. Absolutely not. You can do it now. But
I like the idea of this strange beast on the road. I think we could. Quite a story could come from such a venture.
Which one's closer, the bandits or the beast?
The beast is on the long road, isn't it? It's just
yeah, westward of the long road. It says talk to.
Can we talk to the sheriff before we go?
He's for the bandits, isn't he?
Yeah,
Sheriff
for the
Harrington?
bandits, and for this woman, it's Gwendolyn of Tamsworth Lodge.
I feel we should talk to both of them, and then so we have everything before we leave, so we don't have to come back.
Good day.
I concur, my friend.
I concur with you too.
Personally, I think if we know there are bandits threatening the roads, that they need to be dealt with quickly before they hurt anyone else. It's just my thoughts.
They are appreciated for work. No, there wasn't any sarcasm there. It was just kind of just very flat. Information.
Okay. You.
You're like the special one we bring along. We're like, yes, Igor, good. Well,
He is a bit of a dimwit.
I already love him. I already love Valoric.
Okay, Gruff, you know where the sheriff's office is. It's not really an office. It's more of his house, which he has a extension, I suppose, built into it, where he seems to work out of. Wasn't
Harridan, was it?
no, not Harridan. Sheriff Radford, his name was.
Radford.
You walk in there. It's a man in a chain shirt with a leather hauberk over. He's sort of sitting there reclining on his chair, his legs up. It's quite early in the morning. He's slightly dozing. You notice there's a deputy sort of sitting in a chair beside him, making some form of notes or something like that. There is a small set of cells, two of them, sort of set into the back left corner. Currently no one in them. As you enter, the deputy sort of goes and sort of nudges Radford beside you. You sort of leans forwards. As you open your eyes, you see he's quite old, mid-40s, you'd say. Clearly a man who's dedicated his entire life to this. He's got a tough, leathery face, but you can see the crow's feet in his eyes, sort of showing a man who's probably smiled quite a lot in his life. You can see resting by this table is a shield and a longsword. The longsword itself looks unremarkable for the most part, but probably well used and likely well maintained. He looks up and goes, hello. You're that chef, aren't you? Working in the Frog and Hammer for a few months.
He wouldn't have recognised me completely. I wouldn't have normally picked Bandits, kind of that kind of work. Before.
No, I know, but he...
Oh, yeah, just... yeah.
You've been here 6 months,
And of
it's
course-
not a very large town.
Yeah, and I say, oh, yeah, well, what do you think of the stew?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. You could do mixing up the menu a little bit, but I like it.
I note down the things he does.
Note down nothing. The stew is perfect.
Spit in the show. Stew.
Kill the woman.
Brilliant, yeah. You're leading this. This is yours.
We're all watching.
So I say to him, well, thanks for your comments. Please give me 5 stars and TripAdvisor. we hear about the advert you placed in my tavern about the bandits along the road.
I figured you were here to report something. Of course, please. We haven't got enough seats for all of you, but there's a few seats in the lounge. I'd like to take a seat. I
Beak
suppose.
stands. He beckons maybe Valoric or to sit.
He seems to notice you for the first time. Seems to have quite a lot. You seem to be quite proficient at slipping into the shadows you found. You seem to go quite unnoticed quite easily.
But I stand in the corner of the room and I'm still taking notes about the description.
I pull
Take the
myself
money
down the
now.
seat. I pull myself up onto the seat and put myself down on it.
Kenku, aren't you? I've heard stories of you.
Absolutely,
not
sir.
of you, of course, of your kind.
Absolutely, sir.
Very rare to see someone like you. I heard you came from the deserts to the south or something like that. Anyway, it's a pleasure, and you're always welcome in here. The Bandits, yes. Westward, well, northwest technically, along the long road, just before it curves south into Glanflaw. There's the hills just before Tamsworth Mountains. There's a small bandit camp. We think they're maybe potentially separatists from the war, the Blood Right War, some years ago. That which the Duke Mayor, we're recording this. That which the Duke Mayor.
Oh, I thought you were in character.
Yeah, it can be. They must have survived quite a long time as bandits if they've been going for these 3 years.
Well, there weren't always bandits before the Duke Mayor put out a call for capture for all these folk. They were simply living their lives, but I guess they've been hiding, scavenging, and I guess they've turned to banditry now, or perhaps they have been, just never this close to Tamsworth. They've raided a few merchants coming along the way. 5, I think they've heard of. Perhaps more at the camp. Don't really get descriptions of them, but they're wearing well-maintained armour, not cheap road leathers or anything you see in common bandits. They're perhaps, from what I understand, if you head north, perhaps 2 or 3 miles, are travelling along the road. You should be able to find them. If any of you are skilled with looking for tracks, you might see human footprints and follow them into the hills. Don't quite know where they make camp. If you can find them, there's a good reward for you. 5 gold pieces and per head, I suppose. So it's pretty grisly business. If you can bring them alive, you prefer it. We can get a large reward for the town if we can somehow get them to Glanflaw and to the Duke Mayor.
Can I insight check this guy just to get a feel of what he is about?
What he's about, make it, sure, go for it.
Oh dear.
I feel like he's probably legit.
You'd hope. James opens with a quick
12.
share of
12. I mean, he seems legit to describe what your companions have said. He doesn't seem particularly, it's not like he's hiding anything from you. It does look like you get the distinct impression he's a bit peeved that he's not doing it himself, but he looks pretty old. Perhaps he's seen better days. You haven't seen him stand, but he does sort of lean quite heavily on one side of the desk, suggesting that he might have a weak side to his body.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll reward 5 gold pieces. I'll bump up to 30 if you bring them all in, and 35 if you bring them all alive.
A fair deal, I would.
It's most of what the coffers can afford, but these bandits are taking trade out of Tamsworth and beyond. To be honest, we're not the end of this road. We go to Norlar, Hold and beyond.
Do you know if there are any magic users, magicians, arcanists in this group?
God, no, not that I'm aware of. Quite rare around these parts, and those don't tend to find a slightly more prosperous life than raiding people on the road. I don't think so, not that I've heard. Mostly, I think just separatists.
Well, I'm sure we'll do everything we can to stop these people hurting anyone else.
That would be appreciated. I mean, please bring proof if you can, and we'll see you aptly rewarded.
It's the head strictly necessary. It's quite a grisly trophy. Is there evidence we could bring you?
That's. I mean, I don't like seeing it. The best way to see it is to see them. I unfortunately can't take it on faith. I don't know you well enough.
Of course.
Perhaps the hand, the right, it's smaller, but we do need something to identify them from.
Of course,
it's a grisly business, but it's the best way to do it in these parts. Unfortunately, it is the only way.
Don't worry, Alvin. If it comes to it, I can hack their heads off.
it might come to that.
Of course, if you can bring them back here, there'll be no need for that.
Of course.
Anything else I can help you with, gentlemen?
We have a discussion we intend to have with a Gwendolyn.
Yes, Gwendolyn of the Tamworth Lodge. Yes. Is it? I assume it's about that beast that's been attacking caravans as well.
Is she a trustworthy source?
As far as I'm aware,
this beast isn't a fictitious.
I vouch for her as well. I know her quite well. My hunting.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Or to go on a wild goose chase. You know.
Well, actually, that was what we could be doing.
Yeah, she's.
Alvin stops at the image of a huge goose just like mauling him. Just like, his face goes white.
Beak laughs at your joke. He thinks that's funny.
What's Beak's laugh like? Who's he taking it from?
A maniacal.
No, it's probably more like a teenager sort of laugh, like a well, maybe not like that, but like a teenager, maybe more like a group of like teenagers just like laughing. Like,
It's like a chorus of people laughing
Yeah.
at one note. That's pretty terrifying.
that's the idea.
Just,
He says, yeah, Gwendolyn can be trusted. She's been here for maybe must be pushing about 8 years now. She founded the lodge. And actually, to be honest, without her, the town wouldn't have grown as much as it has. It's brought a lot of trade here.
Good. We'll speak with Gwendolyn about this.
Oh, I'd encourage anyone who's planning on staying here any time at all and looking to make some money to talk to Gwendolyn.
Okay. Let's go talk to Gwendolyn.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Good day, sir.
Okay, you head to the Hunter's Lodge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's a little bit out of the town. The Tamsworth Mountains start pretty shortly after leaving out, but it gets quite rocky pretty quickly. To the north of the town, there's this sloping ledge, which ends in sort of a cliffside, which overlooks Tamsworth itself. And up there is a large log cabin, which is clearly the hunting lodge.
We're getting a phone call, so.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Nearby, as you're walking up, you get this big smell of urine as you walk past a tannery. But you head up the lodge and you're quickly overlooking the town. The town itself is small, even from here. You can see the two to inns, a number of houses, people starting to go about their day. The well in the centre, sort of along the main road, dead in the middle of the road. As well as a forge which has been lit up on the far side of town, where you can see a female shape, you think, hammering away. But regardless, you head up to the Hunter's Lodge. Outside the lodge there is a bounty board pinned to it, similar sort of bounties, I guess, though they're certainly more bent on the animal aspect, the beast aspect. Once again, it does mention the strange beast attacking caravans. It also says giant boar sighted northeast of Tamsworth. Northeast of Tamsworth. See Lone Hunter for more information. And finally, it says Wyvern Pot. It has a number of numbers. It first said 20 gold pieces. It's been crossed out. A number of other numbers and the current number that's there is 75 gold pieces. That's what it says. It just says Wyvern Pot, 75 gold pieces. There's also a number of smaller ones. Good game trails for deer. Good fishing spots for fish. And all that stuff. But those are the ones that sort of stand out to you as potential avenues of revenue. Thank you, Harry. Your contribution is always appreciated. But there you stand, just outside the lodge.
I burst through the door.
Okay, you do.
Get in, tray in hand.
Well, when you imagine a hunting lodge, it's exactly what it's like.
Can I just ask what time of day we're roughly about? Mid-morning?
It's probably mid-morning, yeah. You're probably quite a slow start, especially after the bruises in your head.
Can I assume that I popped to my place of work already and told
Giving you
them,
notice.
well, not my notice, let's just say I've asked my assistant to take over, who's basically a human child.
So like the sous
Jesus.
chef.
Yeah.
The human sous chef in charge of the famous McCorkton stew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
he's
they're
actually
in the
making a
kitchen.
stew now.
Yeah, you enter. It's a hunting lodge. There's a table in the centre. There's numerous sort of. There's like a porch just over to one side, which is a door that's currently open. You can see people sitting out there skinning. There's a fire already going, warming up the place, though keeping the door open seems a little bit stupid, and you're not paying to heat the whole of Glannam, really, are you? And sitting around the table, there are a number of people. The woman you recognise as Gwendolyn. Her full name being... Hang on 1 second.
It's like a hobbit. With all the pots and pans in the back.
Yeah, Gwendolyn Yelson, her
There's
name
a
is.
clanging noise every time we go. Sorry.
A half-elf. A woman, probably mid-30s, but quite still attractive, with mousy blonde hair and a slight pointer ears, which denotes that she has elfin lineage. She's got quite a sharp face, but still the sort of the etherealness of the elf shine through. Sitting beside her is a man which she's not seen very often around town. You know him only really by reputation. His name, everyone calls him Lone Hunter, but you've heard his name's actually Orkan. He is tall, easily 7 foot tall, of grey skin with sort of black tattoos around sort of his face. It's said that he's a mountain man of the Glannam Mountains, or a Goliath.
It's Goliath.
He is, yes.
So is he human, is he? Or not?
He's not human, no. He's sort of a demi-human. A huge hulking figure. He's sitting there. He's sort of talking quite loudly, quite boisterously about his current game. He recently took down an owlbear. And finally, dotted around sort of the walls themselves are trophies. Heads of bears, owlbears. There's even one of a giant eagle as well, sort of on the walls. Pelts along the ground. It's a hunting lodge. There's plenty of pelts here, and you can see just outside there's more pelts drying on racks. It's a hunting lodge. You've entered. As you enter, Gwendolyn looks up, sees the sort of the 5 of you, gives you all a curt nod. She sort of nods at you each in turn, but she sort of raises her hand at Gruff, who she clearly recognises, but goes back to her conversation with this lone hunter.
You know Gwendolyn, I think about
I do know Gwendolyn.
You put yourself in a bit of a precarious position here, Harry, haven't you?
Yeah, just to be honest, I'm not quite the hunter you imagine. This is more of a hobby than a full-time job, as it were. So, but I'll go and see what she has to offer.
I'll go with you, Gruff.
Okay, so I walk over nervously, keeping an eye on the lone hunter as I walk across.
He looks at you, sort of. It's almost like he's appraising you, like looking you up and down.
I sort of
he-
like take Beak with me and I kind of wave at the Goliath as I go.
He looks you up and down and sort of goes. He sees you. He goes, and then continues his conversation with some other hunter. As you approach, he goes, "Hello, McCorkton. No, something like that."
Yes, the stew. And then see if that drops a memory.
He said stew.
Sorry, Stu. Your name?
No, from the tavern.
Oh yes. You're the cook there, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you could probably do much better livelihood if you actually hunted rather than just cooking.
Yes, but my heart's always been in the kitchen, I say. And then I kind of look, and then I look into the distance for a second, and then I return back to the conversation.
Sitting over there.
Right.
Not far at all.
I get the book out and write that.
Ale, Gruff.
Currently in a
Oh,
fire.
please.
She takes a picture which is nearby and she sort of pulls it and slides it across. I mean, it's just the same swill that you drink in the hammer in the Frog and Hammer or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I ask her. So we're looking to, make some coin. What would you recommend?
well, hunting's always a good thing. Sell the pelts and all. Orcan spotted a giant boar. Says it's beneath him. That's always worth a hunt. Their tusks sell for a pretty penny, and there's a lot of meat on them. There's this beast though. I have no idea what it is. You might have seen the notice. Doesn't leave any tracks. Presumably flying. That has been attacking caravans along the long road to the west of here. Not sure what it is. We've gone to the scenes, or at least I have. The marks on their body look like claws from a wolf or a bear or something like that, but no tracks are given.
Okay.
Strange. Can't be. It don't match talons. It can't be a giant eagle or anything like that. I've seen ones like that before.
Can I? Maybe do a nature check. To try
Maybe a
and see if I-
nature check. Yeah, sure.
8.
8. You have no idea what this is.
Okay.
I mean, if you
I
have,
suppose I can, listening to that description as well.
make me a knowledge nature check, please.
Because I'm pretty good at that. No, 10.
No, and there's been no eyewitnesses. Unfortunately, everyone's been found dead at the scene.
Does it eat them or does it just kill?
It looks like it eats. Yes. Once again, the feed marks are hard to tell because they've been lacerated so much, but it looks like lacerations.
Does it eat much?
Not as much as it kills. Looks quite aggressive. Not necessarily sport, but mainly just perhaps territory. It's hard to tell. If we saw some tracks, I could perhaps go some way to identify it, but these just don't match up with a flying beast. Dangerous, whatever it is. If you're looking to hunt it, I'd be well prepared. Very well prepared. This thing is taking down caravans and its guards.
May I ask what the wyvern pot on the notice board is about?
She laughs a little bit and sort of rests one of hand against the table. We have a pot running. It started with lone hunters, your reps just over to the Goliath, saying that he'd give 20 gold pieces to the first person who brought a wyvern's head back. Slowly people have been adding to the pot, and now it's a bet. First person to bring a wyvern gets all that money.
Have there been any sighted in the area, or is this just a...
Well, not round here. You'd have to travel some far away. God, far west. We're talking about 100 miles or so. There's the Dunbarrows and there's Wyvern Tor, a lone mountain found amongst the high hills. Said there's wyverns around there. It'd be quite a journey, especially travelling back with a wyvern's head. But it's worth a penny, and I hear that the poison they have is quite expensive and quite potent if you're looking to sell that kind of stuff. But they're dangerous, very dangerous. Lone Hunter's been working up to it.
He's been working up to it.
Yes.
And I'd sort of kind of look at him, kind of like sort of.
He always tries to outdo himself and others. It's a competitive streak, that one. I hear it's part of their culture, but I've never met another Goliath. if you want more information, you can talk to him. He might be able to tell you some more about the giant boar as well. They sell for quite a lot if you can find a merchant willing to buy them, especially to the dwarfs up in the north. They like them for their ornaments and helmets.
That's good to know.
The Wivtor, the Dunbarrows, how far away are they? Where are they?
Sorry, about 100 miles westward of here.
That is quite far away.
It's a travel and there's no roads that go close to them. It's just simply people don't really go there. Dunbarrows as well, old burial mounds. Not really sure we made them. Probably the bothy long ago before we pushed them up. Yeah. If you're looking to take down whatever this flying beast is, be careful. Be very careful. If you think you're up to it, and it's flying, so make sure you bring some bows and stuff. If she looks at Gruff.
I have a bow as well.
Did you say that?
No, I mean I just have a bow.
No. Okay. She doesn't seem. She actually has her eyes popped over. She sort of raised her eyebrows, but you get the impression she might have seen a Kenku before.
Cool.
She's cultured.
I feel like I'm not saying this like in character, but I get the feeling that maybe the bandits are probably a safer bet for our first kind of outing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like than trying to hunt down a unknown mystery
flying beast with no
heavily hinted at dangerous flying creature.
Just
Of course, if you are still looking for work as well, there's always people who need things. You just need to ask around.
Agnes needs our help.
The rats everywhere.
I just hear her screaming outside. Oh yes,
Not too late, she's been eaten by them.
And if you do find any pelts, you're welcome to sell them here. Obviously, we won't buy them as much as a markup, but because we need to sell them onwards. But if you're looking to for a quick coin, then we'll buy them off you. Obviously, the better quality, the better. You know, we don't like really buying pelts which have been cut up by about 4 swords.
understandable. Not good for a trade. You seem to have a head for finance to keep this place.
I have to keep this place running. I used to go out lots, but unfortunately,
Have you thought about lending that head to Thorgram? He seems to be a bit.
that man or dwarf rather hemorrhages money.
He's a lovely fellow, and it breaks the heart to see.
From what I hear, his clan is quite rich. I feel like this is more of a pastime than anything else.
I see.
I've tried to impart my wisdom upon him. She says almost sardonically. It's not like she's up her own arse or anything. But he's doesn't think much of it. However, his selection of alcohol is
It's tip top.
it's almost legendary. It's quite impressive.
It's a passion for it as well. It's good to see. So
It's good to see someone who cares about the job.
Somebody passionate people.
Indeed. And if you're looking for arrows, we do have a few Fletchers here. So you can buy them. Well, a few places in town. In fact, a couple of towns over you can get them from. So stock up if you need to.
I assume I had 20 to start with.
Yeah.
If you need anything else, just please. But no, I have things to do now, unfortunately.
Any books about it?
Oh yeah, actually quite a lot of books. There's not a lot of books.
Like a bookshelf.
There's like a bookshelf, yeah.
Can I just peruse, see if anything.
That is a lot of books. Books are expensive. Most of them are journals. You see one is Lone Star, not Lone Star. Lone Hunter's journal of what he's hunted. Flicking through it, he's hunted some pretty impressive stuff. He only ever seems to hunt things once though.
Is this Lone Hunter?
Yeah.
And these are his journals?
He hunted a deer, hasn't hunted another one since. Hunted a wolf, hasn't hunted another one since. Hunted a stag, like a fully grown stag, not another one since. Yeah, pretty much.
Pokemon.
Once he kills one, everything he does. He talks about his tracking, his pursuing, his finally when he kills. He goes. It always seems to end up with right. Now on to the next challenge. He always constantly seems to be trying to outdo himself.
Till he hunts himself.
Eventually, he'll just get onto people.
Lone Hunter has hunted them all apart from the most dangerous predator.
At this
20th
point,
level wizard.
at this point, I'm finishing off my ale,
Rates him.
Yeah.
and I've got now the courage to go and speak to him,
Okay.
and ask him what his current quest is, or what he's currently hunting at the moment, what he's after.
He sort of looks at you and goes, "Winter wolf. Big wolf. Twice the length, twice the height of normal wolves, so they can breathe frost from their mouths.
Oh wow.
So to chill the very bones and icy the veins of anyone that comes close. Don't live around here though. Have to travel. Have to travel north past Blazing Down. I'm gonna do it though. Working up, practicing, getting my aim right. Maybe I'll take down a dire wolf just for practice, just for fun. Then we'll see. Easy job. You're welcome to come. What's the biggest thing you've hunted?
A female deer, a doe.
Doe. First thing I hunted. You have a while to go there.
I pointed to the journal.
He knows. He's reading. Good bird.
Good bird.
Work your way up, mate. When you can try beat me. Once you beat me, then it'll be a competition. Go on, dare ya. Use some competition around here.
I look at my tankard and realise one beer wasn't enough to continue the conversation, so I slowly back off.
Just like, I've had enough of this conversation now.
I'm spent.
Go get that boar. Go on then.
The boar, the giant boar.
Yeah, prove yourself, mate.
Oh,
Easy
well.
job.
Do we know where?
I killed one 5 years ago.
Oh
Do we
well.
know where the giant boar is?
I asked.
Been
I
told
said,
that yet? Or
Northwest of Tamworth. Head along the road going northeast. Head along the road east for I don't know, half a day, and then head north. If you're any kind of survivor, any kind of tracker, you'll find his tracks. Follow him. He'll have a den somewhere. Kill him. Take his horns, tusks, whatever.
sorry, in which direction was the bandits again? So that was northeast.
The bandits are along the west road.
Okay.
The boar is along the east road.
Well, I'll send like a challenge, sort of.
Good. If you don't challenge yourself, you never grow. You don't grow.
I could put that down.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, I also asked him if he whether he was listening in with our conversation with Gwendolyn and whether he recognises the mysterious flying creature.
No, don't recognise it. I want to hunt it. Maybe I'll hunt that first. I'm not sure what it is. Claws, could be a bear, but what kind of bear flies?
Okay.
Some kind of beast, perhaps magical. I've heard of things of like manticores, but what I understand, they don't come this far. Not this close to civilization.
Okay.
I've just been furiously jotting down everything he said because he's just saying gold. If you don't challenge yourself, you don't grow.
That's what I heard as well. I was like,
Well, chaps,
that's a
I
fine
think
good
we have
quote.
some bandits to crack.
I
couldn't agree more.
Okay. Looking to slay.
At the mouth of the thought of crushing some bandits.
So they were only 2 to 3 miles. We were told they were only 2 to 3
Yeah.
miles, weren't they? Which is not a long travel.
Not a lot. That's like an hour journey.
While we're going up.
That's along the road. Then it says they're northward somewhat,
Rats crawling
which could be another
around.
hour or two depending on where they are and how lucky you are finding them.
Okay, so like I presume if we're going to set out travelling, as we go up, I'll pop a mage armor on.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep to the back of the group and just make sure we're not being like followed or anything.
Okay.
Like
As you're walking out, you do notice that someone, or already somewhat drunk, a balding, heavy-set man staggered out and sort of leaning up against the wall. As he looks at you, he just gives you a sort of a narrow glare and spits on the floor before turning around and walking back inside the Frog and Hammer.
Oh.
I believe he's learned a lesson.
It was Elias. That was his name?
Asias.
Whatever.
Not.
Valerian gives him a wink and a wave.
He sort of scowls at you a little bit, his eyes twitching. You walk past the Frog and Hammer, the sign of which is, as expected, is that it's a frog being struck with a hammer. And his stars sort of flying around his head, and it's somewhat squashed.
Fishing for you.
The Traveller's Notch is Quite a nice sort of sign. Well, better painted. You think it might be a dwarven design of the angular shapes. It's just of a simple bed. Within it is a dwarf with a big old nightcap on. You can see sort of sleep bubbles rising up from his head. Yeah. You head out of town, passing by sort of the well and a small shop. It's almost like a convenience shop called Gunther's Goods. Before leaving town, any considerations beyond that that's already been said as you're leaving?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Beak is just gonna follow.
Yeah.
I mean, Valeric's not the most perceptive of men. He's got a 9 for passive perception, but what passive perception he does have, he is sort of using to look for any obvious
ruffians.
tracks of.
Okay.
Bandits.
Well, the long road is well travelled, and even now, as you're leaving town, you see a ox-driven caravan coming into town laden with goods. This is the most well travelled road of Glannam, because it leads from a human city in the south to a dwarven city in the north, and all the towns between prosper because of this. But even still, the road itself isn't that well frequented. There are other paths you can take. Sort of going through your lane or a little bit further ahead. But as you sort of leave the town, you can see to the north the mountains. Yes.
I'll have my owl come down.
Okay. Yeah. You guys notice an owl swoop down and land on his shoulders. There's something almost otherworldly about this owl. His eyes are unnaturally bright, even though they're not. You look in them, there's no different. But I think they just catch the sun. Or what little it counts them for this cold autumn sun. It is a clear day today, fortunately. A little bit brighter in its eyes than you think it ought to, and it almost looks like it's looking at you with intelligence, perhaps, or perhaps just a keen perception.
I study it with fascination.
Beak looks really jealous of the fact that he can fly.
Looks like a barn owl, just with like an intelligent barn.
Yeah, but he's fucking jealous.
As you're walking, it does seem interesting with you. As you're walking at the back, and the owl sort of turns its head and spends a lot of its time sort of looking you up and down. Its head sort of shifting as it takes in different parts of your body.
I mimic that.
Well, you do have to do that because your eyes aren't capable of turning your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a bird dude.
Bird man. Bird boy.
Bird person.
Oh, cheeky little bird boy.
Bird boy.
He's a good bird boy.
I'm a good bird boy.
Once he's finished studying, I'll ask him if he can go fly up and sort of keep a general eye out for anything.
Fly in the sky.
Yeah. Be our UAV.
Fly pie.
UAV inbound.
Enemy UAV! Very opposed!
I got a 3 sleep streak.
Boys inbound.
Moogs. Movers.
Predator missile. I love that game for the little bits of dialogue that you could hear when you were playing it, because you hear you could be a tourist if you didn't have a gun. It's actually one of the bits of dialogue. And it's 10-inch torsioner, 6-inch torsioner.
Okay. You're travelling for maybe an hour, before you get roughly around the road where you think it's been broken off. You do see, you actually see a broken part of a wagon as you're moving along the side of the road. Investigating it reveals that it looks like. Actually, can I get some investigation checks from everyone, please?
Yes.
Fuck yes, you
What
can.
type of
boy.
terrain are we in? Like,
You are currently in hills.
okay.
Investigation.
21.
-1.
Pardon?
I
could go roll.
knows what he's looking at.
Sorry. You can try one of my chonky D20s. That was a 10.
11.
Oh no, that'll actually better.
Yep. 11.
21.
1.
15.
12. Okay. You're sort of.
I love my stew.
Just like, why is it full of cheese?
As you're passing by this wagon, it is clearly destroyed or broken apart. Looking at it now, you're sort of passing a keen eye over it. It looks like it has been destroyed by some kind of beast, and you can see some of the wood is stained red.
Looks like someone was attacked here.
Can I just ask, can you have human as a favourite
You can have humanoid, I believe.
humanoid? So that counts as halflings and...
It counts as everybody.
Thank you.
How does it? How
You just generally hate just people.
Yeah.
much like blood is there?
A decent amount, but it's been washed away by rains or time, but it's just basically soaked in and stained the wood. Looking more closely, you would say this is due to the beast. The wagon looks broken. It's clearly, you do find like some goods, like a bit like a bolt of cloth here or there, suggesting it hasn't been fully ransacked. Though it clearly has been ransacked either by passers-by or perhaps by the bandits that are on the road currently. But that suggests that it wasn't ransacked completely afterwards, otherwise it would be picked dry, basically. It was like scavengers that come along.
Does the damage kind of suggest that it was going for the people in the wagon, or is it kind of like, was it just mauling everything that was getting
It's
up?
too hard to tell. Perhaps if there were bodies nearby, you'd be able to tell a little clearer. But it's clearly no bodies.
There's just a sad violin in the background. So.
I've got a violin, I can play.
Yeah.
We come to the conclusion we're actually in Vellum. And the wagon's been attacked by a griffin.
Suddenly everyone has a Maitland's accent. Oh, it's all fucked, isn't it?
Just dead bodies everywhere.
It's conjuring! The fucker's conjuring! That's conjuring!
I'd rather silver.
What now, you piece of filth?
What wounds?
What's that stench? That stench. I smelled it before.
You should note though, griffins do have
Claws.
eagle claws.
So it could be a griffin.
So there's no...
No, they said it was some form of like wolf or bear.
I said it
or like-
didn't fit with griffin.
Yeah, didn't fit with.
So it hasn't got claws, it's just got lacerations, but no
Yeah,
tracks.
but basically, yeah, that's what you've heard. But you haven't seen any bodies, so you
It's
can't.
a floating bear.
It's the flying
Oh!
wolves.
Oh shit! Sorry, I've just remembered something.
What?
You wouldn't have it. No, okay. Do you remember that James has got like a god bear in this world?
No.
I was about to say, you're not going to have us meet the god bear.
No.
Are you?
James like,
Not
full
yet.
stop.
Just like, to make things hard. To make things harder, god
Just a
bear.
flying owlbear.
I love owlbears. They're so stupid.
Okay. But around this place, you do think you've reached the point where you should start to begin to head into the hills to the north.
That was a very teacherly look.
I don't know what happened.
You like settle down over there.
Sit down, boys.
Sorry, sir.
Gruff, I think this is your area of expertise.
Sorry?
Looking for tracks. Is that what we're doing?
Looking for what?
Going into the woods, are we not?
Oh, are we?
You're going to the hills, yep. You're
blimey.
sort of broken north of the road at this point, and you're sort of attempting to look for, or try and track down these bandits, wherever they may be.
Oh,
It's a little
okay.
bit muddy here.
Do you,
Don't like the mud.
do you make me a survival check? Anyone who's
Yeah, I will.
efficient?
I will certainly do that.
Sleepy.
So I get.
Just relying on Harry.
So two
Can I
times.
help him at all?
Oh,
I am
I've got nothing.
You can make a survival check. Just
Oh,
with
that's
wisdom.
actually cause it's 2 times, isn't it? So it's
I'm not
30.
doing fuck all.
30?
Well, it says 2 times the proficiency bonus for intelligence. Oh, choose the bonus. So I've got to, actually, sorry, correction. I've got to add 6 instead of that. So I've actually got 18.
80. How did you get 30?
No, I thought it was two times the total roll.
No,
that you
no,
got.
So how did you times 18 and get 30?
No, because I had 15 in total. So I
Oh, I
somehow.
see. Yeah, okay, I got you.
You should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good as a rogue, like
like
theoretically.
perceptive.
Okay, well,
Not this
it takes
not this
you
sort.
maybe half an hour to find the tracks. You're
Okay.
sort of basically doing a sort of steady movement through the hills, doing a wide area. At one point you think, oh, I found the tracks, and you realise that they're your own. But shortly after you find the tracks of,
We're on
you
the
think,
bandit's case there.
5 booted individuals.
We'll
You roll like that, you can tell that a few of the boots are
satiate your goal.
sunk a little deeper, suggesting they're heavier, perhaps laden down with goods or armour. 2 of them seem a little bit lighter on their feet. They're heading north into the hills. You can follow the tracks if you
I'm
want
just
to.
like spinning my course.
So how many are there?
5 in total.
Ooh, all fine. We can do. We're magic-y. We can
One
go
each?
pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, one each.
You're brave, Aloric. You could take several, could you not?
I do more.
Is that a wager?
Wise.
He's just not completed yet.
Just close.
Yeah.
What? Gruff, what do your half-orc eyes see? Gruff,
Sorry,
Gruff, what do your half-orc eyes see?
Oh, sorry. I guess I could do a don't know. What could I do?
I mean, you've already done it, mate. There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
3 of them seem a little bit heavier than the rest, just now either laden down with goods or armour.
Okay.
It tells you that.
Thank you, Gruff.
You're welcome.
Your skills have been very invaluable here.
And they are followable. They're not just like a single pair.
I go to Valoric and I sort of show him like my sword, and I'm like, my services are at. I mean, yeah, my services are at your command, sir.
Excellent, Beak. Soon we'll need them.
Soon we'll get them.
You could say my sword is at your command. That would be, because you have a sword. That would be pretty nice.
That'd be pretty.
First service.
Good suggestion. Good dialogue. Brilliant.
The moment
I'll write that down.
Interesting stuff.
You can get him to follow the orders of your, or like the tenets of your god. I assume is that what you mean?
What are the...
I mean,
you need to check the tenants, I think.
he would probably follow them if you told him. Like, he kind of respects you.
Drown all the rats.
All you've seen me do so far is nutter man.
Yeah, but you're clearly like a man of like righteous motive. So he's like, I respect you, and you seem like a good man to follow.
Is he? Did he just say all of that?
No,
No, he's just
I was about to
He
say.
went, "Mrah."
and I've already got all of that from it.
That's what Valoric think he got from it.
It's just like, that was deep.
Okay. You begin to follow these tracks deep into the hills, rise eventually into Tamworth Mountains.
I'll let my owl call Night Eyes. Let him, if he sees anything,
Okay.
let us know.
He
That is
takes to the air and flies up. Can't you see through his eyes?
I can do if I do an action. He can go up to 100 feet away and still talk to me, basically. And then I'll look through his eyes.
Okay.
I don't think I can move though.
Every now and again you could stop and just look through its eyes. You're travelling for maybe... it's quite hard going. The hills themselves are quite rolling.
Nice.
And it's a pretty consistent climb up as well. What did he say?
He said, "Do the hills have eyes?"
That's going to be negative inspiration if we're not careful.
I'll just give inspiration to myself. I should forget to know the inspiration rules still stand in that everyone can give inspiration
If
to
you
other
think
people.
someone does something epic,
Yeah,
say,
if they
"I'm
deserve
giving
it, and
inspiration."
if I agree, they can have it because I'm pretty shit at giving out inspiration.
We've been pretty bad at that historically.
Yeah, but
Because the point is, you give it to them then so that they can use it at a later point.
yeah,
And what does
It's
that
like
enable
so
you
that
to
they
do?
then have inspiration
You can,
to actually give
roll
to
it like
someone
advantage
Yeah.
and stuff.
for a
Okay.
roll.
It
Yeah,
adds
you
an extra, gives
if
kind
you
of
have
like
inspiration,
shows that
you
you're
can
doing
give
a
it to
skill
them,
check,
but you can
roll
elect
2 dice,
to
take a
award
higher
someone
one.
Yeah,
inspiration.
yeah.
Which is quite useful.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like the opposite of the disadvantage.
Yeah, advantage, disadvantage, this
Yeah,
entire work in this game.
Okay, yeah.
But like inspiration is like you have to.
And if
It
we
has
have
to be
like,
like
Oh,
and
okay.
if we had like fucking dicks, he can give it to himself.
Almost like a good bowl of stew kind of inspiration.
Yeah, totally.
I would say I was inspired by the stew. Is it lunchtime yet?
It's getting close actually. It actually is probably around lunchtime.
Could you mix up maybe a lunch of some sort?
Whilst you were walking ahead, I'd already got my mind
Yes,
shopping.
you have.
Can I make
I've
a
got
survival check to try and catch like a rabbit or something while you've been following?
Oh yeah, sure.
Maybe a fire to cook it though really isn't the best idea while we're trying to sneakily follow
A
these
tartar
bandits.
maybe.
Okay, well you don't just find a single
Finds
head,
the giant boar.
you find a whole brace of them. You sort of 1 minute and you sort of
bandits. I've killed them all.
as you've been travelling, you just be occasionally going and releasing arrows, and by the time lunch comes around, you have about 3 of them.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, I've naturally in my utility kilt, I've got my
Kilt. That's Tarzan.
Above
Think
your
of that.
utility kill.
Whoa!
He's got his like spices in it. and everything.
spices and garlic.
Are you gonna settle down, build a fire, and sort of spend about half an hour cooking these rabbits?
Sounds good to
finally?
me.
Okay. Make me a profession cookery check, please. Wisdom plus your proficiency bonus.
I'm gonna climb a tree and like keep a look at what he's like doing.
Okay, yes, fine.
Does Night Eyes need to eat? You don't really
so
eat, is he?
Oh yeah, they still need to eat, but they can catch worms and shit.
Okay.
Or mice.
I'll feed him.
I'd like to see an
Only
owl
a
catch a
9.
worm.
Oh, the birds. It's like I do a dissertation or anything.
It's only a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a shitload of rabbits, and they're good quality rabbits. But you think he's used to cooking with more supplies? It's like in Kitchen Nightmares or whatever, or the Gordon Ramsay master.
What
thing,
are you?
where they have the challenge where they need to cook out in the wilderness.
It's rotten.
Ralph, where's the lamb sauce?
But he cooks the brace of rabbits, and he cooks them better than any of you could, in fairness. And you get like half a rabbit each, so
Not able to do
Do we get bonus hit points from that?
unfortunately not. You're already on full hit points.
I've only got 8. That's
I
not a
want 2
lot.
bonus hit points from this rabbit.
Each rabbit consumed, I gain a health.
You're a real man of real skill there, Graf.
Oh, thank
Excellent
you.
rabbits.
Yeah, you're lucky this wasn't really a time-sensitive thing, otherwise you think that the bandits might have been further travelled than you, but hopefully they have a camp somewhere, and after lunch you pack up, and it takes you a few moments to get back into the mind of
Does that
a
count as
ranger.
a short rest? Just to.
Oh yeah, if you want a short rest.
I mean, while we're eating, I feel like it kind of.
Yeah, you spend an hour having a short rest. I mean, you don't need a short rest, but you.
I
We
haven't
haven't done anything.
I could get a spell back. Arcane recovery.
Yeah, it's been a day. It's the morning.
I used mage armor.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I can get my one of 2. I can get 1 more spell slot. I mean, we don't have to wait for now.
No, that's fine. It'd take about half an hour to cook the food alone.
That's
and
what I'm thinking. If we
then I-
did it, might as
I'll
well.
cast mage armor before we eat, and then get back. Okay, recovery. Like a cheeky fuck. Why not? I've got that.
Okay, you've rested. You feel a little bit more sharper of mind after your meal, and you continue
After
pushing
an hour's
onwards.
walk.
Ready for more. We were so fat by the end of the day. Bunch of tubbies.
We all die of like gout or something.
A fat kangaroo trying to be stealthy.
Too much rich food.
It's just like you've got advantage on stealth checks, but disadvantage because you're a fat shit.
Is that like a Monty Python sketch where like there's that really fat guy?
Yeah.
You're like you're John Cleese. And you're like it's just one for thin. You'll explode.
Oh.
Okay, you continue to follow.
Mate, that's how you should kill the bandits.
Or make them a meal.
Eat them to death.
Actually, I could do at some point.
You continue to follow the trail, and you perhaps follow it for maybe another hour or so, steadily climbing upwards, I should state. You occasionally go down a little hillock, but you're always going up more than you're going down, absolutely. Until eventually you receive... You can't receive words from your familiar, can you? You can only receive emphatic
I will
communication.
double check over naked behind you.
What are you doing, Peter?
Just don't really want to be wearing jeans anymore right now. I'm just going to get changed.
Fair enough, I guess. That's fine.
Is it
I've
recorded?
got like Mario pyjama shorts with me today.
Familiar.
We could have been pajama buddies again.
Oh shit, yeah!
I washed mine especially.
Did you really?
No, what the
No.
funny is when
They
I'm
just happened to be
you...
washed.
Oh, well, fuck you.
I'm
No,
an
no,
F.
you while familiar is within 100 feet, you can communicate with it telepathically.
Okay, well, it sort of lets you know. It's. What's the intelligence of it?
It's a fucking owl.
No, I believe it has.
Oh, I can't do that.
If I do it, you can do that noise.
I can't do it.
Right, whenever I need owl noises, I'm calling on Tom.
No, it's the statistics of the chosen form.
Okay, well, you can still communicate with it, so it'd be like
Oh.
big folk, human, like you, man. Man ahead.
I'm just getting quotes now.
Man ahoy!
That's all
Which is kind of
I
I'm
like
basically
white
doing what
and
you're
we go
doing,
back
but I'm
up.
trying to take conversations. But
I mean, mine's just like...
Just-
Yeah, if you go through their eyes,
It's just
you-
logging
you-
in.
it's
So
flying-
what this
Like,
page
I pull your
is,
sword
Griff,
out, like,
what do you
go.
all guys see?
You're
You
left
could
flying.
say,
Your
my sword is at your
your
command.
owl
A delicious
is
brace of
flying about
rabbits for lunch
60 foot
after 1
up.
hour of walking. That's what this page has for us so far.
Your owl's flying about 60 foot up now, maybe 10 foot ahead of you, and your eyes go white for a brief moment, and it's kind of disconcerting for you, but his eyes flick through, you can see through the eyes of the owl, and maybe no more than
Intelligence of 2.
500 foot, sort of just below a dip in the hill, there seems to be a small camp. A small fire is lit, and you can see a number of shapes. I'm thinking you can count about 4 or 5.
Can I communicate with small animals to confirm this? As a forest gnome, I can speak to small beasts. Convey simple ideas like I can say how many and send a picture of bandits. Just to confirm, just out of curiosity.
Second. Make me investigation check to try and find some small animals.
Hello, Mr. Squirrel.
Valoric, they are about
Natural
500
20.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
While it's happening, you sort of look around and you find you see sort of a small
Rabbit.
burrow, literally like that big, and you're a forest gnome. You know these to be field mice. And you approach it gently, carefully, and employing your sort of your known magics, your innate magic. You sort of start squeaking down the hole, and eventually a small little field mouse comes out, sort of scuttles out, and he goes.
Redemption and all that
Hello?
jazz.
I get it. We're rational.
Yeah, you get a bit rational. It's like would you take to it?
I'd say,
just wearing his clothes.
I'd sort of say the bad men. How many? And I'd send like a mental. Because is it a case of like a mental link, or is it a case of I literally talk to?
You literally talk to them. You can speak the tongue of mice.
I can speak the tongue of mice.
Yes, you're literally crouched down in front of this hole, squeaking.
They decided
This is great.
I say the bandits, the men in armour, their camp. How many of them?
Men. The walk, big things, scary, loud noise, make earth.
Yes.
Hide. Too many. Sometimes lots.
How many lots? How many?
Lots, numbers, big, scary.
Numbers. Swords?
Probably can't count
like,
over like 2.
And I point at like
So, like,
Laura's
put
sword.
It scuttles back in its hole a little bit.
There's a lot of them apparently. Mr.
Most
Mouse.
squirrels probably
I
can't
put
count
away my
over.
bow as I was about to.
Jack, owls have a stealth.
You're gonna
Have
shoot
dex.
the film bears. I'm talking
like
to. I just put that in.
Got a dex of 30.
Okay.
Stealth of +3.
Okay. He sort of squeaking and goes, "How many?" You go, number, big people walk through, make noise. Sometimes with heavy things. Sometimes with food.
What heavy thing look like?
Bag, man grass, man cloth stuff, man cloth.
Man cloth.
This is such an inefficient form of magic.
I sort of kind of like tug at like my suit like man cloth.
I'm writing it down.
Yes, man cloth.
Thank you, good mouse. And I give it another little.
Okay, as you're saying that, the owl swoops down and picks up the mouse.
Good night, eyes.
Mouse was.
So it literally swoops down. You don't notice it. The
I
mouse
don't
doesn't notice it until it's too late, and the claws are sunk around the mouse. It's just taken off. It's flying away.
I did not command him to do that. But he does need to eat. In a way, you called him. In a way, you distracted the mouse.
I was.
You killed him.
Bitch.
I'm joking with you.
Your owl has to eat, I suppose. Poor
Friends, I am.
Sorry.
This is all on the side.
The
You know
owl-
they're just over there.
The owl has to eat, but Lorik has to kill.
We go crush these bandits.
Let us try. Just try and get close without them seeing us. We've got to get the element of surprise. And then you can chop two heads off. in one.
Beak raises a finger.
I never
He's
hear
like,
you moving, and you seem to be able to catch rabbits unawares.
Yeah, I leave my pots and pans as they're kind of.
Samwise Gamgee.
I'm afraid I'm not the most stealthy of men, but I can try.
I make the sound of a bow firing, just like, and then I point to.
Why didn't you two go ahead, maybe a minute or two ahead, and then we'll come behind you. You two find a good position, and we'll come up
We
and
can bring the party.
we'll bring the hurt or the sleeping.
Okay.
I like that.
I say.
So they're sneaking shortly ahead, and you're sort of gonna. Once they find a good spot, you're gonna follow up behind them. Yeah?
We'll let them go like a couple of minutes ahead, and then once we'll count, and then we'll just follow, sort of walking amberly. We'll try and sneak, but
We'll all attempt to sneak.
Can I get a stealth check of everyone, then, please?
Before we
Walk
go,
like
I take a
a
bow
minute or
and
two
say-
ahead. So if combat breaks up, that'll be a long time. Don't forget.
Maybe 30 seconds.
yeah, that's still a long time. It's like 5 rounds.
Maybe just give them like
I mean,
30
you guys.
yards, like a round.
Yeah,
Would be
but
anything.
You think like if they go 30 yards and then we start moving, like
Yeah,
that's still like a gap.
to be honest, I just rolled a
Sound
9,
gap,
so I don't know how it's
you know
going.
what I mean?
Oh, I mean, I've been rolled.
Cool.
Oh,
I'll tell Night Owls to like stay up in the air, but like way above.
I'm really happy with that.
Silly.
What did you get?
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Stealth.
Alvin's got an 8.
I got 12 better than you. Well, 11 better than you.
The reason I did so badly is he's a little bit excitable. He's singing a
Is he
song
chill?
to himself as he's doing it.
In what voice is he singing?
No. It's not singing. It's
great.
more he's doing. It's
So he's I think he's an orchestra.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah.
a walking orchestra.
I'm stuck in somehow.
because I'm singing
Singing.
for some reason.
But he's singing.
Just walks
he's
up
the
and
same.
hills are alive.
He starts singing.
No, it's more
He
like
starts singing with his phone to sleep.
It's more like
Leave
he's
the
doing
band
like the
behind.
instruments.
He's doing the orchestra. He's not doing a voice.
This has got the Lord of the Rings theme tune.
Like bandits are like, I think we're under attack. What do you smell? Man Ready.
I might go crack open a Red Bull. Did anyone else want one?
There's 7 more
Depends how
left.
much longer you want to be playing it. It is 10:12 at this point.
Well, the decision is like we could, go to bed at a reasonable time tonight and then get up and have a good session tomorrow, or we stay up late tonight and then kind of have like either a more minimal session tomorrow.
I feel we went to bed at a reasonable time last time and then didn't actually start playing until quite
Like a
late.
off a late
Yeah,
rush.
like late in the morning, early afternoon anyway. So
Stay up a bit
Unless
late.
we
we're
do-
just fucking lazy in the morning. I think we're all just like,
More-
bacon sarnie, or we riot.
So what? Carry on for a bit, you think, and then
I
just.
think carry on for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I'd say kill the bandits maybe.
I like the idea. It's that'd be a good start.
Did anyone else want one?
No.
I'll
I
hold
think
off. I think. But you are well. The Peter, there's loads up yourself. Oh God, the poor.
Isn't that quite strong?
Less than half a bottle down.
It's like 20%.
Just 4 or 5 wine, really.
It's just like
Just
adding a third onto each glass that you have if it was wine.
you've knocked that back.
All right.
I don't-
What
if
was your two? Was everyone's stealth checks, please?
You do one first.
Let's start off with those two.
It was a 1.
So that makes it.
Oh wait,
It's probably alright.
6.
Oh, no, I had a 9.
Oh,
The
Jesus
total of
Christ.
Your total of 9.
Jesus.
So I rolled a 7.
Oh. Do you not have stealth as a proficiency?
I don't think I do.
I've got an 18.
Okay.
21.
12.
Okay.
Were you really quiet?
So the people at the
Should
back
be-
are actually sneaking pretty well. The vanguard, however,
Blinka, blinka, blink.
It's reverse stealth. We're distracting them so you guys can sneak in.
I don't know if it works because they'll already be looking.
You put your pants down, but Beak picked one up, and it's just kind of been like rattling along with it.
well, as you sort of crest the hill, you're crouched low, but then you forget that you're at the top of the hill. And then you look around for cover, and there's no cover. And then you look down the hill, and you see a small camp of bandits, and they're looking at you. At least one of them is, and they go. And they go, "Oi!" And they pull out their swords and draw their bows, and they or draw the crossbows and point them at you. They haven't noticed you guys. You guys are sort of creeping up. But you guys have very, very clearly been noticed. As we'll get a roll for initiative, please.
Dairy made.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, that's a
It's better than last time.
bit slow.
That's better.
I want to look at it.
So, let's start off with Garth.
12.
12. Valor?
Bum, bum, bum.
15.
Okay. Graf McCorkton.
13.
Okay. Beak.
14.
And Alvin.
6.
Okay. Well, first act is 2 men with crossbows. As they notice you go, freeze! And they go, what should we do? And then the one standing at the back goes, shoot them! And they shoot you.
Well, both of us.
Yeah, one at each of you. So they're both going to shoot with crossbows. The green will be for Gruff. Okay, an armor class of 7 on Gruff, so you manage to duck low and the crossbow flies over your head. Armor class of 14.
Oh, that's my armor class.
Okay, unfortunately, just as you're about to roll out of the way, a crossbow bolt sort of scrapes along your upper thigh. Oh, shit. Oh, pardon me. As you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Yep, that's not almost half my health.
You are extremely squishy at level 1, aren't you?
Pretty squishy. Valeric, your next act. You've seen. Do you make any cries of alarm? Do you squawk or anything like that?
Hold on, I've actually got one for surprise. If I can find my surprise bit. I just say some really crude exclamations in Gnomish, but I don't know what they mean.
I know what they mean, but I don't. But if you don't know what they mean, like
He's saying some pretty nasty shit. They're very specific to gnome stuff. Like, oh, you know,
It's quite a gruff female voice as well.
it's like you are the offspring of an ugly weasel and a fat rodent. Stuff like that. It doesn't really translate well to common, but in gnomish it's pretty fucking like
top.
yeah. It's like saying like the C word or something like that.
Does it earn your respect?
I'm kind of just in
Mother was
shock.
a hamster, and your father smells of elderberries.
Valeric, it's your turn. You just hear him like call something out in gnomish, which you don't really understand.
How far away from them am I at the moment?
You like you said you're about a round behind, so it'll take you. You said 30 yards. That's what like. Let's call it
That's a 30 foot.
30 foot. Sorry, okay.
And how far is it from them to the bandits?
They're down the hill. You can't tell. You can't see over the crest of the hill.
Okay, well, I'll use... It sounds like they need you. I'll get up to where they are,
Okay.
and then now I can see how far away it is.
Yeah. What's your movement? Do you have 25 or 30?
30.
Okay.
How far is it?
Probably about 30 on the other side as well. 30 up and 30 down.
And then I will throw a javelin.
You get to the top hill and you launch a javelin down at whom? There's
One
two.
of the two
yeah.
crossbow.
Okay, yeah, they're wearing sort of leather, but it looks like fine leather and leather that's clearly Castlevillian in make, and the others are wearing chainmail, and they've sort of picked up their shields and one at the back sort of pointing as a long sword drawn.
10.
10, unfortunately, is a miss, and he throws, it just lands at his feet, he goes, oh. He looks down at it, sort of narrowly missing his toes, but he's not hit by it, unfortunately. Next to act is Gruff, Mr. Orkton.
So I aim my bow at the other chap, and so it's D20 plus Dex, is it or something?
Yeah, plus your dex, plus your proficiency bonus, so
Okay.
it should be +2, so it's +4, I believe, to hit.
So it's a 13.
13, that is a hit. Are you shooting? Assume you're shooting the ones with the crossbows, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay.
Roll damage, please.
And then so what do I need to do?
Roll a D8 if it's a longbow, plus your dex bonus.
Yeah. D8. Which one does that look like? This one.
If it has 8 sides, then yeah.
Lick those fingers.
That's an 8. So
Oh.
plus what? My Dex.
Dex, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 10.
So 10 points of damage. Okay, you take aim and loose an arrow, and it sort of pierces, sort of inches away from his heart. Almost kills him with a single blow. He staggers backwards. He cries out in pain and alarm. He wasn't expecting that at all. He drops to one knee and he's sort of breathing heavily, blood rapidly pooling and staining his leather red.
Oh, nice.
I was an adventurer too, until I took an arrow to the heart.
Oh, be so bad. Sorry.
So I say, like in the voice of like a city guard, like, focus fire, and then I draw my bow and fire at the same guy.
You know that he mimics stuff, and you've got to ask yourself where he heard that from.
I lived in a city. Like,
How old is Beak? We don't know this yet. So
He's
you don't
like-
have plans for it.
It's very hard to fucking tell.
Yeah.
he's like 14, but that's still an adult for like.
So he's only actually. He's got around a lot.
It's got a
before,
lifespan
so
of 50.
he's gonna be dead within.
I think they're like 50. I think.
James is like, yeah, he's
15?
got cancer. He's
15 against 2.
The guy that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a hit. Right, actually.
So much for leaving them alive. That was never our intention.
6 points of damage.
Okay, arrow hits him in the chest, and then a smaller arrow follows up and hits, sort of peppers him sort of where the rib cage stops and sort of the stomach begins. He gives a final cough where you can see blood trickle out of his mouth, and he drops to the ground, very clearly dead.
He's not going to know.
1 down, 4 to go.
Not my fault.
The two at the front, rather the two with sort of shields and spears, they'll go, hold ranks! And they sort of bark. One of them, the one at Battle was barking out military orders, in fact, and they move forwards to engage. They move up the hill, and they're basically both directly in front of probably you two, actually. You've seen you throw a javelin, but they're moving in on the lighter armoured folk, and they're both going to jab at you with spears.
Just 2 of them.
Just 2 of them right now, yeah. 1 second, please.
So they haven't spotted me.
They would have once they got to the top of the hill, unfortunately.
Oh, so we are
yeah.
visible.
Yeah, you're using the hill as cover, and now they've sort of there's no cover to hide behind now at the crest of the hill, unfortunately.
For some reason I thought we were still in like a foresty area. But
No, it's never been. It's always been sort of quite sparse with the trees. The forest. There's a small sort of forest south of the road, but right now you're in hills burdened into mountains. They move forwards and stab with their spears. We got a 15 on gruff and a 21 on beak. Okay, so
Down beak.
on gruff.
Oh, I actually have a thing for this.
It's fine. You just come back as Phoenix Man.
Phoenix beak.
Okay, so it's 3 damage on each of you as they sort of stab you with spears. They're sort of going for the upper thighs right now to try and hamper you. Both of your legs have been wounded now, it's crazily, and sort of you're feeling lightheaded as blood is beginning to pool around you. Quite thin legs, to be honest.
Oh. Should my owl roll initiative, or should it do on my turn?
Work on yours. I'll come
Okay.
on, have no initiative. Garth, your turn.
I'm going to move up to the top of the hill.
Okay, take that.
There are like two bandits in the base of the hill.
Yeah.
Aren't there? I'm going to cast sleep on them.
Okay.
And I command my owl to use his action to do the help action on Valoric.
Okay, go for it.
Is it a help or is it assist or something like that?
That's assist, I think.
Yeah, it's assist,
Same.
basically. Basically, he's going to flutter around whoever he attacks is going to badger.
Cool.
Or owl.
I can just summon that against the dice.
I'll attack at some point, don't worry.
28.
I'm coming.
Hit points.
28.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 28.
Has the guy who's attacking you been hit at all?
1 second, please.
It's not
Okay,
good.
the man with the crossbow falls asleep, but unfortunately the man with the sword and the shield doesn't.
Oh shit, there are 2 then.
The crossbow falls asleep, but the other man at the bottom of the hill had a sword and a
Oh,
shield. He hasn't
shit.
fallen asleep.
So what?
You got rid of the
So
crossbow.
useful.
Next to act is the man with the sword and the shield himself. He is going to move up, and he moves up to you. Clearly a man of stature as well. And he goes. He gives you a brief nod, almost as if like he's remembering perhaps a time when he actually served in an army, and then he's going to attack at you with his long sword. Armor class of 18 on you.
That is my own.
That is your armor class. Okay, that is a hit. I think it's actually higher, but that's in his armor class. His attack is higher. I'm gonna double check
Are
that.
you at the top of the hill, Valoric? Are you
Yeah,
at the top?
exactly. It would
so
be- it would be
Valoric is
20
with
rather than
beak at the
18.
top.
It's a good blow. It's a very good blow. He's clearly well trained. As he slashes his sword down, he breaks through part of your armor. You take 9 points of slashing damage.
Oh my.
Alavin, your turn.
That was a big hit.
So I've seen Valoric just take a massive hit.
Yeah, he looks pretty bad.
From the armoured guy, and then there's another guy who's beating on Beak.
Yep, and one beating on Gruff, and there's man. You can't see over the crest of the hill.
And I can't see over the crystal,
Yeah.
but that's where
Yeah.
being meta. There's 2 of us there. So I can only see these guys. I can see these guys getting like beaten. So I'm going to look at the guy who's given Valoric Given Valoric a good smash, and I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness on him.
Okay. What does he need to make a saving throw for that?
I have to make an attack roll,
Okay.
and then he does need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Is this one taking Valoric? Yeah.
The one attacking Valoric,
Is
yeah.
it Valoric or Valoric?
Valoric.
You do it with disadvantage.
You will attack with disadvantage. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well that's a 15. The second one is a 2, so that's a miss.
Okay, fortunately, as you shoot your ray, it's this horrid, pallid, sort of greeny grey ray, and it flies up. However, it just
poison damage.
it just streaks up into the sky, and you can't see where it ends, unfortunately.
Fuck
We're going to go back up to the top, which is the bandit who's at the bottom, who's currently sleeping with the crossbow. He's dropped the crossbow to the ground, and the bolt that was in it has fallen out. Next up is Valoric.
Right. I will take a swing at this chap that has just
Okay.
fucked me up.
Does he do it with advantage? Is my owl open?
Oh yes, you have advantage because the arm is helping you.
Oh, perfect. That was 3.
Jeez!
10.
Christ.
Hang on, but I'm assuming 10's a miss.
Yes, very much so.
But
He's wearing chain and clearly has a shield.
with Shield Master, I don't actually have to hit them to take the bonus action, do I? It just says if you take the attack action on
That's
your
true.
turn. So I'll still try and knock him prone.
Okay, I believe that's what athletic
Bonus action to take a shove.
opposed athletic check for a shove action. Let me double check that. I
I
believe.
imagine so. Well, it just says
I've done fuck all.
you
Missed
can
all
use a
my
bonus
spell
action to
slots.
try and shove. Yes.
That
So,
would be a fire.
Yeah,
Fireball.
shove is a specific
athletics, isn't it?
specific action.
Failed.
Yeah,
I forgot.
strength athletic versus strength
Like,
athletics.
Sorry, you rolled a natural one.
I rolled a natural.
Characters.
Well, my character's being fucking useless so far.
Yeah.
Does he get
Yeah,
advantage?
Unfortunately,
No.
you
No,
can
I
look
was
at
only
the-
advantage on 2.
There's no creativity in it.
Too much.
Too much. You tried to. You swing it in, but you catch it in his shield. You tried to push it over his shield, and he catches it in his sword.
He's got some tricks. I reckon he's got to see something.
Well,
Hasn't he?
hopefully he doesn't hit me again.
Next to act is Beak.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Oh, is the guy prone?
No, he's not prone.
I did.
Currently, there's one person in front of you. No one else is attacking it.
We were like,
But then there's 2 people up to attack.
Can I attack the guy attacking Valoric?
No, because he's on the other side of Gruff. You can attack the one attacking Gruff without provoking attack opportunity from the one.
Did I get sneak?
If you attack the one attacking Gruff, yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll
You
attack the one.
may be open from another attack against this current.
Attack an opportunity.
No, not attack opportunity.
Oh, he can just attack.
Yeah, he just you just won't be wounded potentially on this turn. It's up to you. It's your character.
Big knows that like he does more damage.
Yeah, Beak knows he's good at ganging up on people.
Yeah, so he knows to focus fire. Right, so I'm gonna attack the guy attacking Valoric. Yeah, but 24.
Oh, it's a clear hit. Yeah,
What was it? So,
Wait, who's he attacking?
he's attacking the bandit currently attacking Gruff.
oh wait, so yeah, I dropped my bow.
Master Orkton.
I dropped my bow, pull out my rapier,
Yeah.
and then 1, 3 is 4.
Jesus Christ, this is going so
That's
badly.
5.
5 points of damage.
I have a possible what?
How bad's he looking?
Possible 16?
Wounded,
12.
but not terribly bad.
12 plus 3. Could have been 15.
I feel like some of these bandits probably have more health than we do.
Oh, they're definitely there.
Gruff, your turn.
So I've got a guy right in front of me, don't I?
What's that?
I've got a guy right in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he's too close to use my bow.
What's that?
Too close to use my bow, is he?
Too close to use your bow.
Yeah, so I'll use my hand axe.
You got 2 hand axes or just one?
Oh, just one.
Just one, okay.
Okay,
I feel like
19.
19, that's a hit.
And then it says D6 plus strength, is
be
it?
able to hit me that often
4.
with an aim.
4, okay. You bury your axe into his shoulder. He gives a cry of pain. He's barely clinging on to the mortal coil, but he is alive.
Hopefully next time he won't hit me.
2 guards. One's going to stab his spirit you. The other one's going to take advantage of your diverted attention to stab his spirit you.
I mean, he hit me for
Oh.
last time.
Okay, you'll miss this time, luckily. However, I believe Gruff, you're hit on a 20. Oh, sorry, 19.
I'm probably down.
You rolled an 8.
Okay, you take 4 points of piercing damage. He stabs you in sort of your sort of far right abdomen near your kidney.
Okay. Does that like a particular type of damage mean anything?
Not really
Just the
against you.
type of. Okay.
More some creatures are like vulnerable to specific damage.
I bandit encounter. Oh god, all good guys.
Garth, your turn.
I'm going to triple magic missile the guy that he's going for.
Go for it.
Triple.
Bolt of...
Pure cog.
Come, this is a defining moment for you. What colour is your magic missile? Should have thought this, mate. Everyone's got to have a specific colour.
I reckon it's purple.
I don't know. I reckon this is pure white.
I was thinking pure white. Yeah, I'll go for like a cloudy white. Sure, why not?
Milky white.
Like
three shots of
It's a
Cloud, yeah, not milky. It's like
Not milky, it's cloudy.
It feels dirty as it comes the sky. Grey. Are we on grey now?
it's alright.
Is there milky pearl?
Yeah, he's gone for sperm magic missiles.
It takes 12 points of damage.
Pearlescent.
Three pearlescent bolts of energy. Now they're glowing white arcs of energy shoot forth from your hand and pepper the guard attacking, or the bandit rather attacking Beak. It takes him 3 to the chest. He goes cry of pain and falls backwards, rolling down the hill. He is very dead.
So that's 2 down, isn't
And then
it?
I'll command the
2 down and
I'll be like,
1
Night Eyes,
sleeping.
assist Beaky.
So actually, there's only 2 left.
We're doing fine.
Okay, seemingly the leader with the sword swings round in a dangerous arc on you again. Probably missing this time. Armor class of 17.
That is a miss.
I thought so. Yeah.
Fortunately.
It scrapes against your shield and sort of you can hear a snee as you look down at your shield and see a sort of a horrid scratch along where the fist of Torm is.
It doesn't matter which. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know their tenants anyway. Alvin, your turn.
Honesty, I guess.
So there's I can only see one now, can't I? At the top of the hill. There's 2.
One attacking Mr. Orkton and the other one attacking Sir Shieldheart.
Sir Shieldheart. I'll go for Sir Shieldheart's bugger again with a fireball. I presume at disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yes.
That'll be a miss.
Okay. You tried to launch it, but it just splashes at the feet. You get a little bit
You're not
of...
doing very well against this leader.
I've done fuck all. I've literally just sat there going, oops.
I mean, so far, all I've done is be hit for 9 damage in one go.
Okay, back up to the top.
taking
He's
the hits,
still
though.
sleeping. Valoric, your turn.
Right, let's give it another fucking go. I actually hit this guy this time. 15.
That is a miss.
He's got played.
Right, well, I'll go for
It's wearing chain shirt and a
again.
shield, and he's sort of flashed up against
I
his
would
shield.
I'll go for the bonus action
Pete, you're a
again, so I'm
paladin.
prone. So
No
athletics
anymore.
check.
I'm just a little bit angry.
That's a 20.
Okay, you bash your shield into him, and he gets a stagger backwards, and he falls prone. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You knock him down to the ground. You haven't done any damage to him, but he's on the ground.
Am I able to, speak to him, as part of my...
Yes, you won't be able to take any persuasion actions or anything like that, but you can speak to him as a free action as long as it's less than 6 seconds.
Because obviously, 3 of them are already down.
Yes.
So all I'll do is point my sword at him and just be yield.
Okay.
Question, James. If he's doing that as an attacker, can you do the shield bash first?
No, because when you take an action, you can then.
If you take an attack
Yeah, I
action,
know. Otherwise, you could bash him to the ground there.
Then take advantage of prone.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's a shame.
That's pretty dumb.
I think the way it's worded makes it sound like you have to do the attack first.
Beak, your turn.
So he's got a guy surrendered.
Maybe, but he's on the floor.
Is the guy still fighting?
Yes.
Alright, I'll attack that guy. And I'll say, press disadvantage, give them no quarter. And, I just attack him with my rapier.
You have advantage.
Oh, do I?
My owl's helping you.
17,
Motherfucker.
21.
21's a hit. This guy's looking pretty bad. He's had a rapier buried in his leg and a hand axe in his
If you kill
shoulder.
this guy, then this guy's probably quite likely to yield because he's the only one left.
Isn't there a sleeping guy as well?
Yeah, but he's
15 points of damage.
you run him through. You simply
Savage.
stab him with the rapier through the throat. He gives a hacking cough and then he collapses to the ground. Your blade sliding off his neck. Seeing this, the leader, although unwounded, on the ground looks around and goes, "I yield."
Excellent.
Good boy.
A wise decision.
Good fight, everybody.
Excellent fight.
I
I sort of have a lingering look on you. We all contributed there.
Okay.
Try
In
it.
that case,
Difficult shot.
Florical.
There's a man still sleeping on the ground ahead. It should, should be
Yeah.
sleeping for another sort of 45 seconds.
So, in the time he's still asleep, I'm going to get some rope out of my explorer's pack
Okay.
and, like,
You
tie the hands behind his back of the guy, and I don't know. It's possible to like tie his legs together so he can still walk, but he wouldn't be able to like roll
Hobble him,
away.
yeah, that's fine.
And then do the same to the sleeping guy.
you do the leader, we'll do the sleeping
Yeah.
guy.
So yeah.
That's fine, you can both bind them. The sleeping guy wakes up about halfway through the binding, but at this point he struggles for a second, then he looks around, notices what happened, sees the bleeder already with his hands behind his back and his legs tied about that much rope to stop him from getting a long stride, and he yields.
As this is happening, I go through their camp if there is one.
Yeah, okay, sure, one second.
I'm gonna help him as well.
It doesn't look like they have a huge amount on them.
I'll take anything at this point. I have 3 gold.
Oh God! I've already spent it all.
Threw it all off first night.
Spat it away.
I spent 7 gold in that inn. I only had 10.
I started out with 25. Maybe I should have been buying.
Okay,
Trying to
looks
cover
like it's
it.
mostly trade goods. You do find some food here. You find about 6 days worth of trail rations. If you want those, you can take a note of them. You also find you find a couple of bags, about 5 pounds of salt in total.
You got these side.
You find
I'll take the salt.
also bars of iron, totaling about £20.
£20 is fine.
Yeah, it looks like they're in iron bars. Each bar being about £5 in weight, £3 or £4 in weight, something like that.
Take them. Someone will want them.
Yeah.
And finally, you find sort of a bolt of cloth, which is probably about maybe 20 square yards of cloth, sort of rolled up in a small bolt. And that's about it, really. Looking through their pockets, you find a grand total of 9 gold pieces
A bounty.
and
tonight's
7
it.
silver pieces.
There you go, mate.
Paying for tonight.
Any arrows?
They have crossbow bolts.
Oh, yeah.
Light crossbow bolts, and each of them have one of them has 7 bolts, the other one has 9 bolts. You won't be able to use them with your bow, but they have got crossbow
Can I-
if you want that.
Recovered my arrow that I.
How many arrows did you shoot?
I only shot one, I think.
Oh, same here.
Evens, yes. Yeah, you both actually can get your arrow back.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Normally,
did I-
normally in future you can only get half your arrows back, but if you shoot one, it's just a 50-50 chance.
Did I spend any arrows hunting? Oh, yeah.
No, that's fine. You can recover those arrows.
Okay.
Valoric, I find myself lacking a cutting device. Do you mind dealing with the heads?
Oh yes, I can certainly deal with that.
You're going to carry them as well.
Oh, Daddy long legs.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that.
Oh God, there's a paladin walking around
It's
with 3 heads.
It's a messy work.
I mean,
There, you can find a burlap sack. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna have blood dripping out the bottom.
We have about 20 yards of cloth.
Beak offers to carry one if needed.
They look. The man in charge says, "Is that really necessary? They were my friends."
Maybe we just need their hands. We need their hands,
Would
don't
you
we?
be willing to carry your friends?
We just need their hands, do we not?
If this man has...
I won't be able to carry them alone. No.
would you be able to...
Unfortunately, we need some proof. Would you rather us take their hands?
Make me a persuasion check, please. This man himself looks
Am I giving advantage?
crestfallen. I think the best way of describing it is. Yeah, you can give him advantage.
Can I make an intimidation check instead?
24.
He looks and goes, I understand. Maybe were it a few years ago, different circumstances, I'd be doing something similar. Okay.
We can bury them.
Without
Of course.
We'll just without their hands.
I would
We'll
appreciate that, of course.
Okay, we'll take. Yeah, I'll,
He sort of gestures to the bindings behind his back and says,
I'll mind him.
I will help. There are a couple of shovels nearby, but just for clemency's sake.
Okay, so
I
we'll take
pick up a
the
shovel,
three
so-
Yeah,
hands.
help.
Yeah,
as much as I can. So no.
Yeah, and he will help bury them. And so will the other guy. They look. The one looks pissed off. The one who had in the leathers with the crossbow looks like a chance for escape. But this man, he just looks crestfallen. He looks like a shade of what he may have once have been. Sad, harried, tired, and looks pretty guilty. You know.
I guess he's just a soldier that's been unlucky.
Who's on the losing side? Yeah.
A little bit. It takes you maybe, better part of an hour to bury these three men. They're in quite shallow graves, a couple of feet deep each. But they bury him. He goes, "Thank you. I appreciate that. I assume I'm to be turned in."
That is correct.
Of course.
What?
I lead the way.
As we're going back, like I asked the man his story because he seems to have, you know,
Any other story of anyone on the separatist side? My family, my banner sided with the wrong team, and we lost. Duke Mayor thought, good old Onward thought he'd shelter us, but then things turned sour. Couldn't hide forever. I'm not a good hunter. Me and my men had to start taking what we could.
Can I make an insight check? Go
for it.
Natural 20.
Okay, well, he seems genuine. He looks guilty. He looks sad. He full of self-pity. Like, oh my, woe is me, life's so tough. The other one, however, seems... It looks like he was just a soldier. It looks like maybe he wasn't the nicest soldier anyway. Perhaps if circumstances had been different for him, he might have been a bandit from the get-go. He's looking for chances to escape. He didn't really help dig the graves. He sort of just sat there. He helped a little bit, but then he was clearly just using it as a chance to try and distract you, but he didn't really get the opportunity to. This man seems like he looks like he was perhaps a man of once noble birth, but now a lot less. But yeah, that's it. He goes, I was on the losing side, and here I am.
But surely there was another way than banditry.
Maybe. Hid myself, gone far north, lived out a poultry life. True, but I don't know.
That would have been more difficult.
Harder. Few people are willing to take on strangers, at least in Glannam, at least this far north. Did what I had to do to survive. I did what I had to do to keep my men alive. Didn't turn out well, clearly. He looks towards the one remaining man. Such is the way of things. You can't expect to escape the law forever. Now it's time for my due penance, I suppose.
It is indeed.
I accept it. You lead this man back. He gives his name, Sir Stanwell of House Carter.
Do I recognise that?
Make me a intelligence check, please.
Just a straight.
Just a straight intelligence. I don't think there's an ability check or anything like that.
No, I got 6.
Not really. Probably a minor noble house. Okay. Probably didn't even own that much land. It's a small barony, perhaps.
What was his actual name again?
Stanwell Carter. Yeah. It takes you a couple of hours. You don't need to follow his tracks anymore, so you move at a faster pace, and you're going mostly downhill as well, which always does help. It takes you maybe the better part of 2 hours to get back to town, whereas it took you about 3 to get this far out here. By the time you return, you've had your lunch. It's probably about 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. A good hike all in all, punctuated by a short but bloody battle. You arrive back in the town of Tamsworth. You have a small burlap sack which you double bagged for hygiene's sake.
Still dripping a little bit.
It's still dripping a little bit, but the hands don't have that much blood in them.
Oh, true.
And while you're burying them, you just let them sort of drain out a little bit before you put them in the bag. And you shortly sort of can cart these 2 men back to Sheriff Radford's abode, his office, I suppose, is whatever sheriff's place is called. Don't really know.
Is it the jail?
The
Sheriff's
jail
office?
The jail, as in JAOL.
Yeah, could be that. Yeah.
Coming back to the jail. Yep, there you go. That works. Radford looks up and goes, "You move efficiently."
GAOL.
That's it. Something like that.
It's like an egg.
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Barracks, whatever you want to call it. He cut it back there, and Radford looks up and goes, "These two of them, I guess the other three weren't so lucky."
Yes. Here are the hands.
He looks and goes, "Well, they're all right-handed. As in, they're all the right hand." Alright, put these two in the jails for you. At this point, Stanwell is quiet. He says nothing more. He's got bags heavy on his eyes, and he just seems willing and complacent. The other one, his eyes are set in a glower, but he goes, "We'll clearly they're wearing old armour of Castabilia. It's not bandit make. It's not cheap leathers. Likely there'll be a bounty for them in Glamflaw. We'll likely sell them, not sell them, but they'll travelling merchant will pay the bounty for them and cart them down to Glamflaw and receive large payment there. Generally, how these things work. I have power to exercise authority here, of course, but I'd rather they be delivered to the Duke Bear for their due punishment." Stanwell seems to respect that. It looks like he looks up and respects Radford's authority in these matters, and he says, "You'll see no struggling from me. It's time to face justice, I suppose." Radford sort of gives them a nod that only sort of veterans can give each other. He goes, Good. Stay in jails for the time being. You'll be fed well. He sort of says, he pauses for a moment, and he says, "Glannam will not forget what you've done when you helped us gain our independence, but what you've done here, banditry, is unforgivable." Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help. Of course, you didn't bring them all back alive, but that's understandable given the circumstances. 30 gold pieces, call it 32.
Yes.
For sort of a halfway meeting. I believe that's fair. He sort of takes out a small coffer and counts out coins. It doesn't all come to you in gold pieces. It starts to come in gold pieces. There's even a few electrum there. It comes out in gold, and then it's silver, and then sort of the final coin is in 10 copper pieces. The final silver piece. He goes, "There you go. I'm sorry about the dominations, but it will at least make it easier to divide amongst you 5. Thank you for your work. You've made Tamsworth and the surrounding lands a safer place." So it will give you a curt nod. Everyone gains 40 experience.
Oh, 90.
We got more from the brawl.
We actually did.
Yeah, you've captured the renegades, the separatists of the Castavillian army. You're sort of sitting there in Tamsworth. It's late afternoon. You have a few goods in your bags to sell.
Yeah, that's true.
As we leave, I kind of motion to the sheriff just to kind of watch the younger one. Allude to the fact that the older one isn't going to give trouble, but the younger one's been. He'll jump at the first sign of. I want to
I'll
escape.
pass that one, John. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So,
No worries. You head back out into Tamsworth. You wish to do anything else with the day?
to Gunther's goods, maybe.
Gunther's goods,
I'd like to meet. I think we have things to carrying quite a lot now, and
Should we split the money first?
we could.
I mean, it'd be like 8 gold pieces each, and then I'm nice, but want to split up the silver.
How much gold is it each?
It'd be like 8 gold pieces, or like the equivalent.
We could maybe change it at Gunther's for the just the gold pieces, and then we can work in the gold. It's up to you.
I wasn't in character there. I was just
Oh, you okay? Sorry, I'll jump out. Yeah, we can presumably when we're at Gunther's kind of exchange.
A whole 43 gold pieces from my name.
So I've got 8 now.
That's
So I'm
me,
back up to. I've had +1.
Very well
to start, so I'm up
done.
to 11.
Very wealthy.
18.
Don't you need to donate that to charity?
Well, I can donate everything after I've got plate armor to charity, but before that point, the peasants will gain more.
Plate
from me
armor
being
is
in
quite
place.
expensive. Is it like 300?
Pricey. More than 300.
It's like 2,000, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking.
Plate
seem to
armor
remember from
is
live
1,500
office.
gold pieces.
Yeah.
You
My
have to fucking
God,
save,
They're all
didn't
finding
you?
it and buying it.
True. Got to kill someone in it.
It's maybe we'll see if Gunther is this Gunther fellow is interested in what we have, and then maybe back to the Traveller's Lodge.
What do we have to sell?
We could go see if Agnes has been eaten by rats yet.
We should
You took the
take
salt,
on
didn't
dear
you?
Agnes. She's
Yeah.
So,
probably quite lonely for this.
so we've got some cloth and some iron to sell.
Oh yeah.
Iron could be valuable.
Maybe just.
It was like a fuck ton of salt, wasn't it?
There's like 5 pounds of it.
Maybe
Oh,
find if
right.
there's an armourer here, or like a blacksmith, in which case the iron probably belongs.
You did
to
see
them.
when you were up at the
Hunter's
Traveller's Lodge.
Traveller's Lodge.
There was on the fringe of town. There was actually 2 forges, one of which was currently lit.
Maybe give them the iron. It would not be particularly sporting to just sell them back their own iron. It doesn't feel sporting.
For what it's
Whatever you
worth,
wish,
it
sir.
was likely taken by merchants along the road, not stolen from
Oh,
the forge.
yes, fuck 'em.
I mean, whatever you want to do, you what you do.
I think we don't need to skin them, but a small gold contribution would go. It's
Sure, a finder's fee. Right.
yes, that's what I mean.
That's not bad.
Like scoopers, losers, weepers.
Okay,
Yes, Valoric.
Good, you're on carrying the iron.
I am the one moving it around.
Did you pick up your saucepan? You didn't.
I assume I remember. I have limitless supply in my little room anyway, so.
Probably like
Just open it and just stack of sauce.
You probably bring it into a cold sweat if you realise you're missing one of your
Yeah,
sauce
exactly.
pans. You're like, one's fucking missing, and you just broken it up. And
Where's
like,
the
there it is.
ceramic pot?
Oh god. When you head into Gunther's Goods, it's a small, cramped store. The sort of the shelves are packed high, and some are just sort of stacks of things. There's an awful lot of not crap, but awful lot of goods in here. To cut a long story short, you pretty much can get anything you want in here. Really, you just have to root around and find it. Behind a small desk, sitting on a sort of, it's more of a stool with a back than a chair, if you know what I mean. Is an old man, liver spots sort of speckling his forehead with sort of the circlet of hair just above his ears. He's got very, very sort of long eyebrows and hair that sort of sticks out of his nose and his ears quite prominently. He looks up at you, squints, goes, "Who's there?"
Good day, sir. My name is Alvin Burntoke. I don't know if you've heard of me. It doesn't matter if you haven't. We've come to conduct trade with you on this.
What do you want? What do you want?
We're here to sell.
Sell.
Some goods we've got. Excuse me, I was just eating some popcorn. Some goods we've come by. Just a moment, just to have a look over, see if they might be of interest to you.
What have you got? Bring him out.
Sounds like the lady at the front in the canteen from work.
Valoric, I believe you're carrying the.
What's that?
Well, the hands.
Lead. Don't want lead. Iron. What about even less?
What about this the fine cloth? There's a potential in this cloth.
He looks at it.
Feel the weave.
Decent. Decent. What's this one? This is the 20
yards we've
20
got.
yards.
Strong weave, isn't it? It's imagine what you could make with curtains. The curtains from this weave.
Give you 7 gold for it.
How about 9?
9.
Something easy divisible by 5.
Or make it
5.
10. Have we got anything else? Just to clarify, have we got like
The iron.
out of character? We've got the iron. We've got that cloth. We've got nothing.
I do have
£7. It's got £5 of salt.
I have £5 of salt. Let's say I keep £2. A pound of salt is a lot of salt.
A pound of salt's a lot of salt, so I'm going to keep 2.
Got to salt that meat,
Just
you know.
the deal. We have
His cooking
finest,
filled with
finest,
salt.
finest northern salt. Is it for northern salt? Is the salt from the
You have
north?
no idea.
No, I'm going to say northern salt. Finest salt from the north.
Are we at the northest point anyway?
Surely I could tell what salt it is, what kind of salt it is.
Has he been going on about the quality of the salt? Yeah.
It's quite good quality salt. The granule's quite large.
Yeah, I'll keep £2.
Salt. Get it anywhere. I'll give you 2 silver pieces for the lot.
How about 10 for the salt and the
10 silver pieces, done.
10 gold, sir. Gold, sir.
Nah. Make me a persuasion check.
While he's doing that, I'm going to look for some books.
Why don't?
Ooh, that's not bad. That's a 17.
Yeah. Salt and the cloth, I'll give you 8.
How about we throw in a little hand-carved figurine as well?
Oh yeah, like I reach
From our
into a
friend.
bag and I pull
Real
out...
sentimental value, real good for decorating people's homes. Bump it up to 10 gold. We'll throw it
He
in.
looks at it, squints, and
They're all
goes,
the rage in Glannam. They're
"What a
moving
crock of
north.
shit."
They're moving north. This man carves them by hand. You can't call it
It's a northern town. It's lovely.
Not worth more than a few silver. I'll take it. 8 gold pieces for the lot.
So that was your offer for the previous bargain. I believe you don't get that with it as well.
8-5.
That's divisible, maybe.
I mean, if we get
I don't know why I'm
our
getting
character,
croaky.
if we get 9 gold pieces,
Pushing it's really fast.
we've already got
I'm
10
sorry.
pieces. If we get 9 gold pieces, we will have 10 gold pieces.
Oh, so 9 works quite well.
Yeah, we can
We'll
divide.
throw in the iron as well for 9. How about that?
Is the iron worth more than 1 gold? Or
You
fucking care.
have no
I'd like
idea.
gold. I'll take all we can get at this point.
Make a intelligence check.
I am intelligent.
I'm
Can I roll
quite-
insight
no
on this
intel.
guy?
I have no
Yeah.
idea about
to
iron.
see what he's
You don't
about.
praise it. Well,
I got
insight.
5.
Yeah, insight.
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on. 14.
He seems grumpy as fuck. He's an old man. He looks grumpy. Looks tired. It looks like he barely sees. Looks like he's got a cataract in one eye.
I don't know if this is like but like as part of the insight, can I check if he's like conning us out of like?
You don't think he's conning you.
Okay.
You think maybe the cloth's worth a little bit more, but of course he's got to resell it.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Beak would understand.
I don't really want it. 8.5 for the lot. That's it. No more. And what was your intention check on the iron?
Oh, it was 5.
You're not sure. It might be worth a pretty penny to those who actually use iron, but you can't see any like iron bars in this shop, so you probably won't buy it.
So 8.
So was it 8.5 to clarify? Was it 8.5 for the salt and the
We
cloth?
still got 7
Yeah,
silver,
cloth and
so
a little
we
bust
could-
of the.
A little bust of.
Oh, we'll take the iron to the
Yeah, okay.
Done.
Done,
Good.
sir. Done, sir. And shake on it.
Fucking peasants we are.
Good. Want anything while you're here? Got a lot. You have to live for yourself, though.
I have a browse, sir.
Of course. Take your time.
And I have a. Can I just investigate for interesting items?
Yeah, you can pretty much get anything you want on the adventuring gear in here.
Oh,
Full
okay.
play.
Do they have any books?
for full play?
Oh, so do they have like a blank book? That's just like it's just like a book, but just
That'd be
like blank
expensive as fuck.
Books are like 25 gold pieces for a blank book, or that's what information written, and a book on its own might
How
cost
much
you
do you
10
have?
gold pieces.
18.
I'll cover you the 7 if you like.
You can get a a little. You've got like one note, sort of pretty thin. The paper's not very good quality, but it's empty. You can get that for 10 gold pieces.
It needs to be.
There's no written books here, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll get you a nice proper book. Like my spell book. Look at it.
Start immediately copying down your spells.
I'll show you if you want. Doesn't matter.
Of course, you know stuff like the spyglass.
You might not
itself
to
that
use
you
it.
wouldn't have, but
I'll
anything.
let you look at it.
We could get some tents for the road if we think of travelling.
I've got a tent.
You have a tent.
I'll share with Birdman.
What the 10?
Bird
Yeah.
person.
Okay.
Bird person. He wants to look at my spell book, so why not? Fuck it. You can copy my spells.
I mean, I'm an
I
excellent.
mean, they probably do like.
I'm an excellent forger, so you know.
Floric doesn't need a tent, he'll just find the nearest wild animal, slice it open and sleep.
God. And then the fucking animals like
You
fucking
must.
whack you for like 90 points damage and be like, I'm dying!
All we find is like a
Inside this
stone.
bear! Oh wait, I'm dead!
All he finds is like a
Always look
stone.
inside that pair because you'll be. Yeah, because you know, it'll eat you.
Yeah.
There you go. What a nice little chair.
Eternal sleep.
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get anything. I'm just having a quick look.
So we got 8.5 for the communal chest.
So
So
let's
8.5 that'd be like 8 gold, 5 silver.
Let's go get the iron.
let's go get the iron.
So if-
Okay.
I mean, that'll give us like 9 gold. No, 10 gold. Because we've got 7 silver.
Oh, cool. So we've bumped up to.
there's actually only one. Sorry, there's only actually one forge that's to find up. You head down towards the forge itself. You first find a small shop that says Armour and Leathers on it. It simply has a wooden plaque with leather stretched over it, and it looks like a name's been sort of burnt into it. It just says Armour and Leathers. And then sort of opposite the road, there's a small open air forge, which is sort of, obviously, it's got a roof on it because it rains quite a lot around here. The clouds are beginning to close in at this point. And there's a shop beside it, and it simply says Florinda's in quite floral, cursive writing. And you see there a woman, quite young. It's hard to tell how pretty she is, sort of beneath the soot that covers her face. But she's got her head tied back in a ponytail. She's got a metal working apron on. She's hammering away. As she sees you approach, and she stops hammering for a minute, sort of plunges. Looks like a sickle, a farming implement. Plunges it into the water, and she goes, "Hello, hello. How can I help?"
Ah, my fair lady, you look radiant in the light of the forge.
She beams.
We were wondering if perhaps we have some iron that we were wondering you might be interested in.
I could wish you some more iron. Yeah, of course. Why not? Bring it out.
Valora, could you bring it forward?
Ooh, that's a lot of iron. About £20, I guess. Yeah, sure. An iron bar would probably raw, at least from that which I buy from. Sells for what was it? Let's see, a silver piece for a pound of iron. And frankly, I'm running a little bit low. My last travel got raided by bandits. Yeah, sure. I'll give you 2 gold pieces for the lot. Standard pricing.
I think that sounds perfectly reasonable.
That sounds fantastic for me. Need to make some more nails. She rolls her eyes a little bit. Do you need anything made, by the way? Any swords, daggers, anything? Hammers, war axes. Haven't made
Wait,
one of
so
those in a
we all
while.
just got another 2 gold.
There's another 2 gold on top of that.
In total.
In total. So, I mean,
Yes,
you're only
you
gonna
want
do-
to make something? A dagger?
Another 10
I-
gold between
yeah.
us in total.
No,
Probably
you
very
get 2
interesting,
gold.
but I bet you double. Crowbar? Could always use a crowbar. Yes.
Do with some splint armour, you know, 200 gold.
She sort of sighs a little bit.
Penny
Maybe,
counts.
maybe
No need to charge double. I don't work that way. Yes, of course. She actually
two.
goes 1 second. I think I have one made recently.
And then
She comes out and goes, "There you go."
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
actually,
two
I actually
gold,
charged
yeah.
2 gold pieces here, so why don't we just call it even?
I'm happy with that, yes.
Does anyone have a crowbar? We don't.
I do not.
I think
I'm not going to ask what you need it
Yeah,
for.
I got a crowbar.
I'm not that kind of person.
I'll just pay for
course.
the crowbar. She's got me one. I'm one of those people. Alright, I'm too embarrassed to say no, so I'll just give it. I'll hand her 2 gold. There we go.
I whip out my crowbar and like crowbar.
No way.
I don't think you need 2, but of course.
You never know. You never know.
Florence, I don't have a purchase request, but I have an idea I've been having with my quarter stuff. It's
You want it iron shot?
not iron
Ah.
shot, but it might be more of a woodwork thing. But I was wondering if you could make it lighter, more dexterous. Basically, I want to give it the finesse property. Is that possible?
Unfortunately not, no. It's basically a stick.
Yes, with more metal, please.
I want the hollowed out.
Can it be shaved down to give it finesse?
Just get a willow whip. Unfortunately not. She goes, I'm not skilled with wood. You want to try someone up at the Hunter's Lodge maybe? I don't know.
Okay, I very much appreciate that. It's a pleasure talking to you. Florinda, is your name?
Florinda, yes, Florinda. Florinda or Florindas. Here for your farm tool making needs and your nails and your horseshoes and the occasional weapon.
I'm Alvin Burns. Can I give like a really flourished bang?
No.
Like,
Mhm.
and,
Well,
I
Arrowheads
make
even.
Out of interest, would you be able to make splint mail?
That's a bit beyond me, unfortunately. I tend to focus on weapons and apparently sickles and scythe and hoes.
How about a dagger?
Oh yes, I can.
How much would
God. 2 gold pieces.
I'll take your.
I'll get started immediately. She says. And she beams. She goes from being a little bit dejected to being over the moon immediately.
If I give you 3, could you make it? I want it functional, obviously, but something that
I'll make it as fine as I can.
Florinda, so I pick it up and I know that it is yours.
Of course. It'll take. It'll take me a day.
Of course.
Maybe a bit longer. I don't know.
How about 2 days?
Of course. If you come back in 2 days, I'll have the dagger for you. Of course.
Thank you. I look forward to receiving it, and again, I give you a flourish.
She immediately starts going away. She grabs the iron that you've immediately brought for her, and she starts melting it in the forge. It looks like she blows off an old sort of a mould. She goes for it. Yeah, she's over the moon immediately. She seems almost into not trance. That's the wrong word, but a frenzy. It's clear that her passion is for weaponsmithing rather than making farm tools and horseshoes.
Kind of goblin dicks.
Did I pay the gold in advance? Just
It's up to you. Basically, she didn't ask for it because she was so excited to make something that she forgot about the gold.
Well, I go up and give her like the first, like a gold, like what?
Of course, yes.
Just so you know that I intend to return to take this.
Of course, yes. Sorry. Shakes her head a little bit. Yeah, that's.
Could you make me a little, a really nice and fine carving knife? Really sharp as you could make it.
Carving knife.
Oh,
yeah.
Gruff is on walking.
I mean, me too as well.
You can make little designs on the hilt as well.
Like a skinning knife? Or like a knife for eating your food with?
What was the first one you said?
Skinning.
More willowing.
Yeah, I think I can make a whittless knife. It shouldn't take too long. If you come back when he comes back as well. 5 silver pieces? That sounds about right?
Nice as you can make it. Make it as, take a bit of extra time, do whatever you need.
Of course.
Whatever you can do.
Yeah, she seems buzzed with energy now.
Cool. I'll handle the money.
Good. In 2 days' time, you have a dagger and a willowing knife, respectively.
Cool.
Oh, sounds good. I'm working my way slowly. You get a hand crossbow
You
next.
to me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
One in each hand.
Because
I tend to cast my.
Winchester repeater.
I'm thinking of somehow pulling the strings back with one hand, spinning around.
When I get simulacrum, that's all they're going to be there for,
I've
is to pull
read
back.
so
So I
many
can-
using a bit
things
better,
on
have this one.
in return,
Reddit about like people making
give you a
like
little figurine.
maximised
Oh.
sharpshooter characters.
Made
where,
up
like, they have 2
Bird
crossbows.
guano.
Does anyone
No, I'm
use
just
2
thinking-
crossbows and
It would be
reload
of
them?
himself.
So do we each get 2
Like,
gold from
rest them on their
the?
hips
2 gold
and
from
just like
selling
pulling
them.
it back
Okay,
and then
cool. So I'm up to 12 now.
catching them again. How does that work?
So you got like a little figurine about like that. Of
Yeah.
like me.
Thank you very much, Beak. It's wonderful.
I'm going to add like beak
As
figurines
you
to my
wish, sir.
inventory.
I like the sound of that.
Right. You guys plan to do anything? It's actually pretty late in the evening at this point now.
In real life.
And in real life. You guys plan to do anything else? Or are you sort of going to retreat to the inn for the evening? Or perhaps
Retreat to
to...
the inn sounds.
Up.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
going to go visit Agnes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll come
You,
with.
you,
Good to see you.
you
know what, let's
ask-
close.
you basically ask Florinda where Agnes's house is. and she goes, oh yes, sorry, Agni, her name is. You can find her just down there. Break off the main road a little bit. You'll find her in a small house. It's hard to miss it. It's quite a small ramshack place.
It's quite late now. She's old. I'll visit her in the morning.
The rats are eating my toes.
Oh, fuck no. I will go to her anyway. Fuck it, mate. Ignore that. I'll go to her. I'll go to her house.
Okay, you.
I'll go with.
The house itself is quite small. Ramshack, about the small word. It's just a small house, but it seems to be quite well made, quite well constructed. And you knock on the door. You do notice there's a few kids sort of sit on the, sitting sort of not sitting, sorry, outside. They got a little pair of sheaves, and they're actually cutting her grass for her.
Oh.
She opens the door. She goes, "Oh, who are you?"
Apparently you have a bit of a rat in.
Oh, that'll do, Timmy. That'll do. You've done a fine job.
This kid's cutting the lawn at like 11 p.m. at night.
No, it's like 7 or 8. It's actually getting pretty cold. You've been out here long in the day. Here you go. Digs into a pocket. Digs into a pocket. Pulls out a codpiece. There you go, little kid. Thank you, Timmy. Have a good. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Is Timmy dead?
Bye.
She's just talking
No. The kid sort of leaves, and as he's leaving, he sort of looks at the coin, goes.
What are you putting back tomorrow as well?
Wow. Does he look like he's been working all day or something?
Not all day.
Okay.
Is he an Oliver Twist child?
A copper's quite a lot for a kid.
Oh,
That's like getting given like five quid when you're 10. You're like, fucking score.
fucking score.
Look at Ace, mate. Yeah.
Garth goes, he's fucking smoking weed in like the next corner.
How can I help you?
Dessa and Green.
How can I?
Oh yeah, when did those come this far north?
Apparently you have a bit of a rodent problem.
Ah, rats!
I have something I think might be able to help you.
They're in the basement.
And if it hasn't fixed it by tomorrow morning, I have a proper one that will probably sort it all out.
Oh, of course.
Night eyes. I'm going to put night eyes in your basement.
There's quite a lot down there.
He's a very hungry owl.
There's a lot down there.
How many are we talking?
Do you want to come have a look?
I'll bring the sack. I'm flooring storms in.
It's got a little bit of blood for all the hands.
Like his sack over my shoulder. It's like I'm ready.
I excitedly follow him, like I'm like jittering with excitement.
So you go down to the basement and...
Is she a rat as well? She's just like...
Is this like
queen of the
so
rats.
Nagini's in Harry Potter's just collapsed and just rats pour out.
She goes down, she goes, it's a bit dark down there. She grabs a little lantern, quite a
Pushes us
finely
down.
made lantern. It's quite nice in here. It's got like little painting and all that maybe she'd done herself.
Oh, you have a lovely home, miss.
Thank you. I put a lot of time into it. Lived it all my life. Oh, poor Alfred, he's dead now though.
Is that Mr. Agnew? Dear rest his soul.
My name is Oldfellow, my last name. It was a little less ironic when I was younger.
I can imagine so.
I can imagine.
But old Alfred, Oldfellow, he's gone now. He's just on my own. Back when we were younger, oh, old Alfred. She sits down at this point. Oh, he would have dealt with the rats just fine.
Beak makes the noise of a ticking
Oh,
clock.
Jesus, we're
because
all in
it's
here,
fucking
are we?
bored.
Fucking hell, alright.
It's a bit cramped in here.
Alright, Beach, we just leave you with the rats.
If that was what you wish, sir.
Oh, what a handsome man he was. Even on his dying day, when he lost his leg. Oh, you're still the most handsome man in
Garth
the
will sit on the
world.
chair opposite her and like cross his leg and go, please tell me, how did he lose his leg?
I start kind of like creeping towards the basement because I just want to get. I want to get.
I follow Alvin. I'm pretty bored
Well,
of this conversation.
Gus might
I sort of look
poor
at you and
man. He got a slight disease in it. Got infected. It spread up his leg. Had to have it chopped off by a travelling doctor. Only got worse. The infection spread up to his groin.
Oh, that was the worst part.
That was a tough blow.
I very much understand that pain, I'm sure.
Oh,
Not
2 years now it's gone
personally,
without my poor Alfred. Oh, what a handsome man. Even when he lost all his hair. Still a handsome man.
Did he not seek any other medical attention? It sounds like it was getting quite worse. The problem was not solved.
James, like from a description, have I got like a rough idea of what Alfred looks like? Can So me and Beak are trying to sneak.
Fucking Alfred's down in the basement, man.
Me and Beak are trying to like sneak towards the door to sneak down. Can I use my minor illusion to make like the silhouette of Alfred in like a doorway?
Make me an icon.
You're so fucked up.
not like a residual, but like just like a shadow to distract her.
I'm talking to her.
That's a 14 plus my Arcana's plus 5, so it's 19.
Oh, Alfred! I think he's come back.
As
What are you doing to this
Fucking Alfred! Oh, you still the captain!
Look at Lawful Good, he's fucking tormenting this.
Why are we doing this?
I look at the image, go wide open.
As soon as I flicked it on, I've gone through the
Your
door.
husband clearly loved you dearly, though.
Yeah, I'm following
He
him.
did. Oh, I remember the first time we met. Oh, so many summers and summers ago. Oh, it was a lovely year. Oh.
I'm sure he's watching over you still, even now.
The shadow's just there.
Fucking.
Oh, he was lovely.
I'll be having words.
Oh,
I'm downstairs.
and he was a demon in the sack.
Oh God.
Meanwhile, you guys.
We don't share eyes with him.
So we're in the
taking this slip for the team.
It's like Alvin and Beak are going down the cellar door. Like we're getting the cellar.
Yeah, to make a start. As you get down the stairs, she's got a little lantern that she sort of grabbed and took down the stairs before she got distracted. And when you get to the stage, you see a number of rats skittering on the floor, and then the more you shine the light around, the more you realise there are a lot of rats here. Like a lot of rats.
Okay, Beak, let's get to work.
As you wish, sir.
You're starting to just smack rats.
Smack, fireballs, just kind of boom, boom.
Okay for them.
As you do so, the rats start getting a little bit antsy, and then they're being swarming towards you. A decent number of them as
I'm only on 2 HP.
by a swarm of rats.
Yeah, I'm only on 3 HP.
So we're upstairs talking to the
Oh,
old
by the way,
woman.
I'm upstairs because
Yeah,
I've
it's just
agreed
you
to
two.
listen to the.
Can I get a roll for initiative, please?
For all of us, or just two?
It's them two. Fuck them. You can take it on the small rats. They'll be alright.
Okay, 15.
Alright.
Well, you guys can roll if you want.
If I hear them dying, I'll go down.
I think that was funny. I don't think that was evil.
I just followed you just
Blindly.
Okay, Gruff, what did you get?
9.
Oh dear.
I've actually got a
Garth,
8.
Valoric,
4.
Beak,
6.
and Alvin.
Oh, we're all
Oh,
going to die
15.
from rats before we
Okay, Alvin, your turn.
Um,
Literally, as you've been smacking these rats, they've been antsy and anxious, and now they're all swarming out the woodwork, coming to bite on you and attack you.
I've still got mage armor up. I'll just throw it for now. I'll just throw like a fireball. Is there like a main cluster of them? Is there kind
Yeah,
of
they're
like
sort of clustering together. You can throw a fireball.
fireball tap the
I
cluster?
feel like rats are
Roll to hit?
probably a bit
Or-
worse in the D&D world than they would be in real life.
Oh, yeah, well, they don't really normally swarm and attack you, really, do they, in real life?
I got a 16.
That's a
So
hit.
even if
Roll
we
damage,
do, you
please.
would just stand on them.
Fireball's D10, isn't it?
No, not there's like thousands of them. But there's like hundreds of them here.
No.
Like a lot of rats.
It's all on me.
Not really anything I can do
No.
against a lot of small things.
9 points of fire damage.
Okay, well, you a sort of a spray of fire hits them and it incinerates a good number of rats. They sort of squeak and sort of still surge towards you. Next is Gruff. You've just heard sort of, you don't really hear much. You've been hearing this conversation. She mentioned how he's going to start, but luckily she moved on pretty quickly. And you just hear the occasional and from downstairs. Then you hear a fuck. Doing anything? Or are you just chilling out?
No, I'll go put the kettle on or something.
Okay, you sort of stride into the kitchen. He goes, "Oh, while you're out there, dear, put the kettle on." Garth, your turn.
I'll be like, excuse me, dear. I'll be back. Just I'm just gonna go help him with the tea. I'm gonna go fucking see what they're doing. Open the door. Like, what the hell are you doing, guys?
You look down the stairs.
Getting warmed.
You sort of go down a few stairs and just see like they're standing there and swarm towards them. It's like 100 rats, and they're like, you're like,
Ooh.
I say, drop everything, run! We're gonna ban such horrors!
This is unfortunate. I told you we should have waited, and then I'll sort of
close the door.
I'll be like, I'll leave the door for you. And I'll just walk back out. Make sure it's
We're
closed.
gonna leave the rats upstairs and they're gonna eat.
Oh, actually, what are you doing?
I'll before
I just attack her with my rapier.
when I go through the door,
Go for
make
it.
sure you close the door behind you.
19.
That's a hit. Roll damage, please.
Oh my god.
Do I get sneak attack on this?
No.
Okay,
on the rats.
fine. 4 points of damage.
4 points down.
Attack
Okay,
on
you
4
feel like they
rats.
resisted the majority of that because you're basically skewering an individual rat. You're like,
I mean, but that rat
Wait, so
kebabs
is a
though.
swarm of rats like an enemy?
yes.
So it's not like
You're not like attacking 100 individual rats.
Okay, I thought we were attacking 100 individual rats.
No, that we've been here for ages, and now for 500 rats.
Okay, that makes more sense.
You've all got the plague.
The rats' turns. They're going to swarm over poor Alvin and bite all his body.
Oh my god.
Hit, and I'm class of 20.
Yep. Jesus.
He's just fucking strong rats.
You take 6 points of piercing damage as rats swarm over your body and hundreds of little
No,
rats
not yet.
He's fine.
I'm on 2.
bury into your flesh, and you scream. You can hear it. He goes, ah! He goes, I think he's found the rats.
I put my head in it. There are quite a lot of rats down
I
there.
know.
I don't know if I can actually do much to help in this situation.
No,
Because I've only got
it's
like melee, like.
Valoric, what are you doing?
We should come back with oil. Maybe not to the house.
Yeah. I don't really know what I can do against fucking
I don't have any
rats.
spells.
I could take the kettle down and pour boiling water on them. Or something.
What ants?
I mean, I feel like a kettle can still do some damage.
What would you do with the tray?
Graphic just a master just improvised weapon.
Whose turn is it now?
it's Valoric's turn.
Valoric. Valoric goes to
So, Valoric's gonna slide on next to Agony. Just drape an arm casually around her.
Hello, dear.
Just start.
do you want to feel my holy weapon?
Please stop.
Roll to
this.
seduce.
Please stop.
Roll to
this.
seduce. Charisma.
Your charisma would be good as well.
Oh no! I'm just chatting away to her, keeping her occupied, so the rest of you can deal with this problem.
I mean, she wants you to kill the rats. It's not like she wants to keep the rats, so you're trying to kill them against her will.
she might get disconcerted.
alright, fine. I'll just.
No. You seduce the old lady to your heart's content.
She might be disconcerted if she hears like screaming about us dying.
Someone's got to come for her.
Okay, you comfort the old lady. Back up to the top. Alvin, what are you doing?
I cast Thunderwave.
You are aware that he is right. He'll be.
Oh shit. Fuck. Okay. I don't want to blow you away. But am I completely swarmed though? Like,
Yeah, they're all over you, but you can still attack them.
I can still attack them.
You're a bit disadvantaged if you don't like fireball them or anything.
Okay, well I think I am going to have to Thunderwave from them.
Okay, can you make me... There's a lot of stuff in this room as well. Can you make me a constitution saving throw, please?
I smashed them and stuff.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well the rat swarm fails.
It's just a D8 of damage, isn't it?
2d8, I believe.
Is it 2D8 at first level?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit.
What did you get?
Got 12.
What's your DC?
My DC
Probably
is 13, yeah.
Oh,
You're down.
yeah, I'm down.
Oh, it's
Friendly
13 points.
30. Well, the swarm is obliterated as rats fly against the wall. So is her pantry. Sort of flour just explodes everywhere. Beak flies against the wall and falls unconscious. You see this. She goes, "Oh, what was that?" Sort of gets to stand up, but your sort of heavy arm around her shoulders.
Hold her down.
Check out.
I fucking rushed.
He isn't outright dead, is he? Like, he's okay.
How many health were you on?
I was on 2.
You are dead, mate, aren't you? How much did you do?
I think I'm dead.
That was 13.
Oh, mate, you're dead. You're dead.
Oh well.
Oh no!
I go to the top of the stairs, sees fucking.
Oh no!
Fuck! I didn't realise that. I didn't. That was not into. Can I just like?
I mean,
you can't retroactively just not blow him up.
I mean, true, but it's the first session.
It's the first session. Like
I'm saying it's going to be the first death.
That was
your knife is still flying in the air, which I just gave to you.
I don't want Beak to die.
I don't want Beak to die.
No, I don't think anyone wants to be.
with the. I mean, it's getting very technical, but I'm completely. If I'm completely insulated in rats, would
No,
that?
you're not unconscious.
Okay.
He just gets bombarded with rats
I mean-
instead.
You're just knocked unconscious.
Thanks, James. That was.
I am-
Because, like,
I am now scared of loud noises.
okay.
Not like
I know, you know,
generic.
technically you should die here, but
I think that's fair.
Again, that
No
was.
one wants him to die.
There was no point.
Jack doesn't like this, but it's fine.
Don't do area effect. Well, your allies are nearby.
I didn't think I'd. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Lesson learned.
My apologies.
The rats are dead.
Well, I'll go check out what the fucking massive bang was.
I was just like, tea's ready.
Lay on hands.
Can you learn hands? Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can.
First level.
Let him have the rats.
I'll just give him 5 HP back. May as well just use it.
Okay, you sort of.
I wake up and I'm like, my hero.
I'm holding you in my arms. You're alright.
He wakes up, his body battered and bruised.
The loud noises are gone now.
I'm sorry, Beak. I panicked. They were everywhere.
To be fair, I don't know if there was actually any other way out of that situation. It just
No, there would have. There is ways out of that situation pretty easily.
just run.
I mean,
Just a swarm of rats, man.
Yeah.
Don't need to fucking.
It was it.
No XP, man.
no,
No.
that's your penance.
Yeah, I'd probably take that.
You guys, oh,
The
you
tea
got
is
the
really good, though.
rats.
You got the rats, and my friend will compensate you for the damage.
Oh,
Oh.
I apologise.
She doesn't even care.
oh yeah.
Although our friend did very nearly die for this cause. Give a fuck.
Only because of the other friend.
How about we pay? You'll pay for the damages, and we'll come visit you again.
Oh, I'd like that.
There we go. We'll help redecorate.
You remind me of my old Alfred.
But no more fucking.
I've learned my lesson. I'm terribly sorry.
And no more illusions of Alfred, you fucked up man.
You remind me of my Alfred.
No,
He doesn't
do
need
I?
it.
No more shadows.
More illusions are needed.
No illusions needed here.
Just booze.
Just in a glass.
Lots more booze to get Valeric through this.
And with that, you retire back to perhaps the Traveller's Notch, and we'll leave it there for this evening.
Valeric doesn't. He stays there.
Carries on from
His new rightful place.
Valeric is
That
there.
Simon.